He is also the Washington Times pollster, and he has put together this information for you.
Superstar.
I'll give you the 3-second sneak peek. You're going to like it a lot. Jim, take it away.
Thank you very much, Tim and Charlie. That was great.
Setting up
and I'll tell you something. We were the ones that
it.
were crazy enough in 2016 to actually say on the Sean Hannity show, the Friday before Election Day, that President Trump was actually going to win. And let me tell you, we got attacked by the media like you wouldn't believe, and I'm sure when they see the results of this, but I can tell by it, our poll was right by what we got. But let's, without further ado, let's have some fun. I think, unfortunately, this poll is probably going to trigger a lot of the media again. What's the most important issue that's facing the country today? And by the way, this is an issue.
Let's just mute them for a second. I don't need to hear them talking. Apparently, these are the most important issues according to the CPAC crowd, which, means a whole bunch, of nothing. Because, obviously it's going to be, although weird, dignity, quote, pro-life is like down. I don't know why dignity and pro-life are together, but hey, it is what it is, as they say. Donald Trump CPAC. So we're sharing this to Facebook and to YouTube, not to YouTube, to Twitter as well. So we're just going to do this real quick. Just wanted to make sure I was set up before Trump came online. There we go. There we go. Tweet that. And then, did I pause them for a second? Are they, looks like they're having problems? I don't know. There we go.
And
having some streaming issues. Am I having streaming issues? We will see. Let's see what my it says excellent condition, but for some reason I'm having some streaming issues from YouTube. So we'll see if we can get anything.
Thinking ahead, this is the ballot with President Trump in it.
This is the Republican Party. Thinking ahead, Ron DeSantis 21, Donald Trump 55. There you go. They want to bury their graves again. 3 other, 1 undecided. So who are the other? You have 3 people.
It's 11%. Donald Trump Jr. gets 8%.
What's wrong with their audio?
So again,
what is wrong with their audio? Well, we're gonna see that I think should be coming. If you're listening live, let me know if you're seeing any audio issues in the chat or whatever. When it comes to me, let me check. My streaming looks like it's okay. I'm connected to the right internet here. It looks like I can see myself talking on my little screen. I just can't listen. Let me just, I don't want to duplicate the audio. So maybe I'll check on my phone real quick. We're going to hop over to Facebook real quick. And we're going to check that out. Of course, 97% approve. 3% of the people at CPAC disapprove. I wonder who those people were. The media there covering it, who got tickets or whatever. It's hilarious. That is just hilarious. So, again, we're starting a little early just to make sure that we catch the beginning of his comments. This is Liberal Dan Radio here on YouTube. There's a bunch of different ways you could follow me online. If you go on the link of the video, it's on liberaldan.com. You can find exactly all the places you can follow me. I do appreciate anybody if you subscribe to the channel. It's the best thing you can do to help out, especially with the problems in the economy. I understand not everybody can contribute. However, if you can't contribute, I have a Patreon. You can support monthly on the Patreon, or you can also buy commercial advertising on the podcast. And then finally, if you go to the website, you click buy me a coffee or buy me a cider on the website on liberaldan.com, you can make a one-time contribution that'll help me with this, help me do more with the podcast, help me focus more on this. I would love to be able to do this full time. So I can only do that with your support. So for some reason, Liberal Dan is not wanting to come up. So what are they cheering about now? Anything in particular? I can't even hear them talking. I wonder if it's them having audio issues, or because I can see them, but I guess we saw their issues. I don't know. Maybe I need to find a different stream. I don't know, because this stream isn't doing really well. So for some reason they can't share the maybe they muted it on this stream that I found just because they don't want to. They're just waiting for Donald Trump to chime in. I don't know. We will see.
Have fun.
Well, see, there's audio again. For some reason, the audio is back. Donald Trump is speaking in 3 minutes. 3 minutos para Presidente Pendejo.
Jeff Christie Rock and Roll Radio Show.
There we go. We're hearing a commercial, so let's just mute that whatever commercial is, because we don't need to hear that. We don't need to hear their propaganda. We're just gonna listen to Donald Trump's propaganda apparently and see what lies. Oh, they're kissing the corpse of Rush Limbaugh. Ugh, gross. Did a show about Rush Limbaugh on the podcast, Liberal Dan Radio. Liberal Dan, or blogtalkradio.com/Liberal Dan. You can check that, all the old episodes of that. You also have on Anchor.fm, Liberal Dan. That podcast is also, you can just look at all past episodes. The Anchor podcast is never live, but the Liberal Dan Radio is live Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Central, blogtalkradio.com/Liberal Dan. So we are going to be talking, I'm sure on the show, we will be talking about whatever Trump says here. I'm sure he's going to announce that he's going to be running for president again, because he feels it was unfair. It was the most unfair election in the history of elections. It was the most unfair. We can't have, you don't have a country if you don't have elections. So yeah, no, that's ridiculous. But let's see. Ooh, him on Phil Donahue. Ooh, that's weird. All right, so we're gonna close all this out. The flatulence in broadcasting, is that what it was called? The flatulence in broadcasting? That's what I would like to refer to it, because it stunk. Rush Limbaugh was a coward, let's just say. He, I would used to listen to a show, and he would let all these, as he would call seminar callers, call in, and they would, he would let the people who he thought were making stupid points in. But anybody who was trying to make an intelligent point, they would not let in. There's a radio show I listen to locally here in the New Orleans area. He's a very conservative guy. And one thing I do have to say is that, he will let on people who make intelligent points. Now, he does let on liberals who also make stupid points. But he will let people on who will make intelligent points as well, which is a credit to him, even though, unfortunately, that individual seems to have gotten much more zany, kooky, etc. during the past 4 years or so. So, let's see. I'm trying to find this darn post to share so I can share it to my friends on Facebook before focusing on this. There we go. Right post. We'll do that. Done. Done. There we go. Our Freedom MMG, huh? Oh, it's Our Freedom MG. Not to put one too many M's in there. So we were just sitting here waiting for former President Pendejo to come on and see what he has to say and what the if you have any things you'd like to comment on, you can feel free to do it in the chat. We're going to, let's see, we are going to switch on my YouTube. Let's see, I'll click on that, and there you go. Donald Trump is taking his sweet time. Let's go ahead and we're going to mute this a second just to see if I can hear myself. Our audio looks like it's working perfectly. There we go. So I'm doing well. You can hear me fine. It's just a matter of the other things that, you know, you won't be able to hear if their audio isn't working. Let's see, is their audio working fine?
Check you and send you to fake jail. A site that cancels cancel culture.
The site that cancels cancel culture. Hey.
You've been waiting
we
for.
are radio voice
Sign up
on
today
for Our Freedom
at
MMG. I keep wanted to say Our Freedom
Where
MMG
freedom
because for
is
some reason
real.
Our Freedom.
Conservatives are.
Oh boy, more about horrible Rush Limbaugh. Good riddance to bad rubbish, I say. The idea that Donald Trump felt that he needed to get the Presidential Medal of Freedom is just, I mean, to me, almost tainted. I'm not going to say tainted because there are plenty of people who have gotten that medal who are deserving of it, but yeah, that almost taints it right then and there. So again, everybody, thank you for anybody who's tuning in. I'm just going to do a test comment to see that it shows up on the stream. Took a second. It's not showing up. Huh. That's weird. There we go. It popped up finally. And you can see. That's my other account. Just I'm kind of testing it out just to see, making sure that everything's working correctly so that when former President Pendejo decides that he's going to show up and want to make his remarks, then we'll be able to comment on it and his ridiculousness as it was. So, ooh, I love their I'm not getting enough video to. What is the problem? Apparently there's a problem. You're not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Although I'm not seeing any dropped frames, so I don't know what the deal is with that. It doesn't seem to be like there's any problem. It is what it is. Let's see, analytics. There we go. Let's pop this other thing back open so I can actually be in the chat as well. Sin tastes good, huh? Nourishing your soul in an empty calorie world. Ay de me. These people. I'm glad I probably would want to just, I don't know what I'd want to do if I had to watch this whole thing. I feel sorry for the people who have to watch this whole thing. I just feel like it's important to cover the Trump thing because, you know, it's fun to mock Donald Trump, and I haven't gotten to do it in a while. So, soul nutrition, huh? Are we still on CPAC? Oh yeah, it still says President Trump speaks at CPAC 2021. Let's see what this soul nutrition person is saying.
And other people around us. Have you ever wanted to deepen your connection with God, deepen your connection with those around you, and deepen your connection with
Is that
yourself?
Purposely made to look like caramel, but like blood, or like the candied apple?
We dig into questions about what we want our lives to look like.
We want our lives to look like.
Answers of how to get there.
This is a terrible commercial. People need to teach some people in the media how to do a good commercial ad because OMG, ooh, the soul nutritionist. She's a soul nutritionist. Da-da-da-da-da-da. She's a soul nutritionist. Ba-ba-da-ba. See, they should have done something like that. Like maybe make a sounds like background parody and start having some people dancing like the Blues Brothers. Da-da-da. Oh, back to the Our Freedom G. I bet you that if you came on there as a liberal that they would block you right quick. I wonder how much it costs. If they're not selling their information, if ourfreedombook.com, really? I'll have to look up ourfreedombook.com to see. I can maybe they fund it via the Our Freedom funding or whatever. Wonder if they would allow. We honor your freedom of speech. I wonder if they're going to if they would allow liberals to go on Our Freedom. American owned, made in the USA, America. No bias, no censorship, no bans, level playing field. Ooh, you could be a believer for $15 a month. Ooh, fancy pants. Dave Lipsky. So if I want to be do you have to sign up, or do you have to pay to join that website? That's probably how they're doing it. So yeah, and that's probably how they would keep the liberal folks off, because the liberal folks wouldn't want to support the conservative thing. So therefore, they're going to basically via the paywall keep everything off. We'll take a look at it and see. Just it might be fun to check it out. Where's Donald? Where's Donald? He said. Come on, the Donald. Where you be? Where it is? I thought you were supposed to be on in 2:30. Although I think the Fox News link said 2:40. So who knows? I mean, he's just down the road in Mar-a-Lago, right? Because he's living there in violation of the agreement that he made with the people in that town, so that because they didn't want to have anybody living there full time, so they made him sign an agreement. But agreements that are signed by Donald Trump are worth less than the paper that they're written on. So there is that. So again, welcome to anybody who is currently watching the live stream of my live reaction to when former President Trump eventually gets to. Oh, look, there's somebody wearing a mask. Oh, there's like 2 or 3, 4. Wow, he pulled down his mask because that's lets it be effective. Look at all those people in the audience without masks on, though. That is the CPAC should be called Super Spreader Pack. SS Pack. That's what it should be called, SS Pack. Jeez. I mean, for multiple reasons. Because I guess the stage also resembles a Nazi glyph that they used. That wasn't the swastika, but looks still pretty darn close. But according to several sources, at least, supposedly, the stage resembles or almost looks exactly like a Nazi sign, a sign that was used by the Nazi Party. Look at all those people not wearing masks, and old people too. Wow. I mean, there's a couple, but those people aren't protected because, again, masks are not to protect the wearer. Masks are to protect the people around the wearer. As such, that guy with the mask right there doing security, he's not protected because everybody who's not wearing a mask, who's breathing all around him, could potentially, that saliva-laden or the COVID-laden saliva that's flying through the air could absolutely get into his eyes or get into other things and harm him. I wonder how many cases are going to be in Florida once CPAC is over with. 2 weeks after CPAC, I'm sure you'll see a skyrocket of cases of COVID in Florida. This is why I don't go to Florida, because DeSantis is just terrible as well as Trump. I mean, clearly it's not as bad as Trump because he didn't poll as well as Trump by the CPAC people. Oh, I just noticed that the name of the CPAC event, America Uncanceled. Yeah. What are we waiting for? Let's see, is there anything being spoken about, or they're just Are they arguing with each other? Is there going to be a fight on stage? That would be amusing. Is somebody yelling at the guy with a mask, "Don't wear a mask on stage"? Oh boy, there's a MAGA hat. And there's one guy with a mask, but 3, 4, how many masks? There's another mask. Oh, there's a bunch of more. Oh, there you go. The maskless plague rats just all funneled together. That guy has something over his neck that's doing no good to anybody. There's some lots more. Look at all those non-masked people. There's one. Maybe about, 5% of the crowd at most is masked? 5% at max is masked. Him with his America shirt. You can't misuse the flag, but we're gonna make shirts out of it. That's for damn sure. These people. I swear for God. Oh, got some more unmasked people there. They're not socially distanced either, so it's not like they're sitting people so far away that the lack of masks would be less. The harm by the lack of masks would be lessened. But no, they're just sitting there talking to each other, across the seats, leaning into each other. Hey, let me spread my Rona to you. It's ridiculous how irresponsible these people are. This is why we're never getting out of this crap, because you have all of these people who don't take the damn virus seriously, all because of one man, the person who's speaking next, former President Donald Trump. He would, if he would have just said, "Do your patriotic duty for me. Do your patriotic duty for me. Wear a mask. It'll help prevent the spread of the disease. Do me that favor. All of my supporters, I'm asking you to wear a mask whenever you go out." And his supporters would have been like, "Sure, right away, I agree, Donald Trump. Donald Trump says wear a mask. We're going to wear a mask. How many masks you want me to wear, Donald?" They'd probably wear 17 masks if he told them to. Now, of course, the conservatives mock the wearing of 2. Korea CPAC? What? I guess it's the Korean coverage of CPAC? Is that what's... Anyway. Or CPAC Korea. Is she announcing? Or they're coming back? They're not... This is the most horribly run... I mean, how do they manage to put on a convention with all these video issues that we've seen in the last, 20 minutes that I've been streaming at this point? Oh, there's a mask. I thought there was a mask. I think it's just the guy's beard. So many people huddled close together. Teeming masses yearning to spread the Rona. Do-do-do. Let's just see if there's any other things. I'm sure this is live, so I'm sure, but I'm wondering if this one news site is the one. Let's see. Soon, former President Trump speaks. We're going to click over there and just see if they happen to have audio. Oh, good, we're on mute over there too, so boop-a-doom. They have a commercial going on. So here we sit waiting for the former President Trump, to come up and say whatever it is, whatever crap he is going to say. We're waiting on it. We're still getting the same shot from Fox, pretty much. It's just closed in. Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe this website is stealing Fox's view, and then I'm taking their view. That's hilarious. Because I mean, literally, I think it's the same. No, they're now looking at somebody else. So it's not the same exact. No. Yeah, no, I think it's the same shot. I think it's the Fox News one might be start panning to the yeah. So this feed that I'm looking at is basically taking the feed from, because we should see somebody in a blue shirt on the phone, and then some man in a pink shirt with a blue lanyard. There we go. There's the pink shirt guy with a blue lanyard right there. So yeah, they're looking at the they're taking the same feed. That's hilarious. That is hysterical. Anyway, so we're just still waiting for the president. Trump time. We're waiting on see what. Of course, everybody that you're watching is there's a delay, so anything what you're watching is a little bit delayed from the live comments that are happening. But you know, it is what it is. Need to figure out a way to get some sounds, like put those sounds and play them. I could probably figure out a way to do it real quick. Go to the go to here, go to audio to upload. Let's see. No, that's not it. It might be on my other. It might be saved somewhere. It might not be. Might not be stored in this folder on my computer. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's called science. All that fun interview that he had. What is taking? What are they doing? Are they having to put up like bulletproof glass or something just in case one of these armed nuts decide that they're gonna, you know, the one of the 3% that didn't like him and thought he did a bad job? Is that what's going on? I don't know. Like, dude, all 330 million are gonna have the right to what? Have the right to what? Healthcare? That's funny. The maskless crowds, the irresponsible, maskless. Maybe Donald Trump chickened out. Maybe he decided he doesn't want to speak in front of the crowd. You know, just like he said he would be with the people. He would be walking down with them to the Capitol on January 6th, and that was not a promise that he didn't fulfill. He said that, and they don't hold him to that either. Ooh, American Conservative Union, CPAC 2021. Dun dun dun. It's ridiculous. These people are absolutely ridiculous. All right, Donald Trump is 20 minutes late. That's right, he is 20 minutes late to his own speech. But they don't care. They won't care. He could be an hour late, and they'd be like, "Thank you, Donald, for showing up. We love you. We love you, Donald." That's what they would say. Of course, I'm sure somebody could take this video and then be like, capture me going, "We love you, Donald," and then like, look, even Liberal Dan likes Donald Trump, because that's what dishonest people do. So what else can we talk about? If anybody want to bring up anything, if anybody is watching and wants to bring up anything in the chat, we got that you could do whilst we wait for Herr Donald to arrive. Maybe he hit some traffic on I-4. Some traffic. I wanted to go to Disney World and get a churro. I love the churros, even though I don't like the Mexicans. That's probably what he would say. I love the Mexican churros. I don't love the Mexicans. Let's build a wall to keep out the Mexicans and keep in the churros. Is Melania going to be with him? Will we see a sighting of Melania, or is she just going to be like, "I'm so done with this. Be best. Go there and be best, but leave me out of it. Dun, dun, dun. All right, come on, people. Let's go. Come on, Donald. You can do it. I'm going to sit here and start yawning because this president, or maybe he just noted that I'm wearing my No Malarkey shirt. And as such, I don't want any of that malarkey. No malarkey. Boop-a-doo. Let's go. Let us see Herr Donald and what he has to say while we wait on this very day in the month of February. Oh, this is terrible. I mean, I didn't want to get in late and then have to start it and and be really late, but now, I mean, I've been going for what, half an hour now, and no Trump to be signed. The COVID flows in the convention tonight, not a Trump to be seen. They stole the election from me. I'm trying to think of a good rhyme for scene. An elected that has been. I blame Mike Pence because he is he? No, that's not him. They're erecting something. Typical Republicans. Are they going to announce him now? Having problems with their erections.
They're getting the stage. How pretty is this stage?
How pretty is the stage? Okay, Nazi.
Don't listen to the lies about this stage. It is plenty pretty.
The lies about
and now
the
we're
stage,
getting it
huh?
very safe. I will tell you that everything's going according to schedule with the President of the United States. He will be here very soon.
Scheduled to speak at
since we're in Florida, it's nice and air conditioned in here
Eastern,
because the one thing I always
Central.
know about my Floridian wife is they love that air conditioning.
The cycling of the air conditioning to circulate the Rona back into the room so that more people can be
that it's not just the people in this room
who are spreading the Rona,
who are watching and listening to this
Rona
content,
and spreading the
obviously
Rona.
People from all over America.
All over
if
America.
Social media is allowing it to happen.
Well, I mean,
I hope you're all getting your feeds. But you know who else is watching?
Liberal Dan feed.
The whole world.
Because they want to see how stupid this large group of Americans are.
The whole world is saying, is America going to embrace socialism or fight back? And so we're going to give you a little indicator
you don't have a country
of how
if you don't show
CPAC
strength.
and the American conservative movement is working with freedom-loving people overseas.
Freedom-loving people overseas.
Please watch CPAC. The whole world is watching.
They've got the whole world watching this bull. Meth? Is that meth media? Meth media? That makes sense. That seems fitting. Meth media
is the biggest and best we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Folks, we are making a difference.
We are making Nazi symbols that we're marking on.
It's that time of year again, CPAC time. The leaders of the conservative movement have long
met in the
Washington area each year for an event called CPAC, the Conservative Political Action Conference.
It's an amazing conference, super amazing leadership team.
The ACU has been the single most uniting force behind the conservative movement.
It has been a gathering place for decades with presidents and lawmakers and pop culture figures.
You're going to CPAC at National Harbor. Volume right now in Oxon Hill on the Beltway at 210.
I understand there are 13,000 people there. It goes up a little bit each year.
Matt and the ACU bring together so many conservatives from around the country in one place.
I'm reminded of the Reagan Revolution, and we're trying to light the match of that revolution again.
Reagan would be considered a liberal these days, according to CPAC.
Has become the party of ideas.
The organization
not anymore.
Itself over time
it's not the party of blocking.
Trump.
I actually started quite a while ago in CPAC. Came here, probably made my first real political speech, and I enjoyed it so much that I came back for a second.
I kept coming back and coming and coming again, unlike any of my wives.
Well, the president may have won an award for being one of the longest presidents to actually speak at a CPAC event. This speech went well over 2 hours.
Oh, Lord. I hope, are we going to go 2 hours with this thing? If the Trump speech lasts more than 4 hours, do you need to see a doctor? I mean, they're obviously having problems getting that stage
Freedom, as
erected.
Reagan told us, is not passed down in the bloodstream from one generation to another. Freedom, instead, you got to stand up, you got to fight for it, you got to defend it.
I am with you.
And
I will fight for you.
Ted Cruz
and I will win
shows he has
for
no
you.
backbone, no courage. With Matt Schlapp. I had no audio. No audio. Best I could do is no audio. What is their problem? Why can't they figure out their audio issues? That's, you know, the audio is up. Why can't they figure this out? What is their problem? Is that like an Irish guy? Make America green again! Bigora. The Irish Republican Party. Not quite the same thing as the American Republican Party. Are we not having any more sound, or are we just going to have to read lips? Read my lips. Let's just see if it's just them or if it's the other one. Let's just check if the other one is having sound issues. And if it's not, we'll flip to the other one. Let's see, it's not showing up. CPAC, the world is watching. Oh, it's up on the hill now. Does the hill have sound? Let's skip these ads before we see. There we go.
Strong relationship. It's the fact that the president knows that when he comes to CPAC, he's at home. He's with his people.
You know, I first went to CPAC during the Reagan years, where Reagan was a conservative president, but CPAC was much to the right of even where President Reagan was. And now it is right in the center. It is the Republican.
CPAC. It is not in the center. That's ridiculous.
My man, stand up, please, will you? He's the one who said you should run.
That's ridiculous.
Right?
CPAC is in
Matt
the center.
said,
no. I mean,
like
CPAC might be in the center of the Republican Party, but the Republican Party is way to the right of where it was.
Who made the best speech? They voted, by far the best speech was Trump. He calls me and says, you should run for politics. I say, what do I know about politics? But you know what? We learned quickly, and our country has never done better than it's doing right now. So it's pretty good. But thank you, Matt.
You know, a couple of years ago, when a whole new team of people started leading the ACU, we thought that would happen during the 4 days of CPAC.
Let's see, we're going to mute this a second. We're going to unvisible it a second. Unvisible it, good language. Let's see. So we're going to do that. No. Let's see. Let's close that up. I don't think we're going to want that one. Let's go this one, have this one go full screen. And I'm going to watch it on this one. And then we're just going to play and see what we get when it comes in. Because, oh wait, it's not visible yet. I have to make it visible. Okay, there we go. We are still waiting for Donald Trump to speak at CPAC. This is terrible. This is horrible. Waiting and watching and waiting. Are we still not playing? Oh, they're talking now. I guess they're watching a video. I'm not listening to it, but you know, they're just talking about stuff. 40 minutes in, we still don't have President Trump. 30 minutes late from what he said that he was going to be. I did not sat here for the last 30 minutes if I knew that Donald Trump was going to be speaking at 4 p.m. or after 4 p.m. Eastern and not 3:30 as it was advertised. But just, I guess, another promise not kept by Donald Trump, if you will. So America uncanceled. I guess I could do that. Hilarious. Oh. They're talking about Brexit and whatever. This is terrible. I don't know what is. Just waiting for Herr Trump to get here and do it and speak his garbage. I guess we can listen to what they're saying because, you know, it's terrible. You've got the George Soros billionaires. Oh, boo. Every time they talk about George Soros, it's pretty much they're talking about the Jews. Talking about the Jews.
What does America do in 2020?
Why did they hate George Soros? Because he's a Jew. It has nothing to do, you know, with the fact he's rich. Because they love rich people. They just don't like Jews.
We went to our third CPAC in Tokyo, Japan.
So we got CPAC Japan. Wow. That's crazy. It's weird that the Hill's not showing, that it's not showing the video that is being showed on everything else.
Just as President Trump says, fake media is running rampant, especially here in Japan. Everything they say.
Fake media is running rampant, and the fake media that's running rampant is the conservative media that spreads lies about stuff. So that's what, again, that's what Hitler did. Let's mute that. That's what Hitler did. Hitler talked about, actually, no, instead of doing it that way, let's do that way, and I can mute it over here. That's what Hitler did. Hitler called the media the Lügenpresse, basically the lying press, the fake news, if you will. They're talking about how, you know, they're lying about him, and if you can convince people that the media are telling lies about you, then you can get away with anything you want. And when media reports on it, then they say, hey, these people are lying. I've told them the fake news, and they're still the fake news. They're lying. That's the point of calling everybody the fake news, calling every news report about him fake. And if you notice, again, Hillary Clinton talked about this in 2016 when he was talking about how everything is rigged against him. You know, the Grammys or Emmys or whatever he was up for The Apprentice if he didn't win, those were rigged. He said, like, this is going to be a rigged election, you know, when he didn't win, when he thought he wouldn't win in 2016. Everything is a rigged election because you can't take anything on face value, because if you make people believe that it was fair, then you can't rile them up. And then for months, you know, for months, from June, July of 2020 on, Donald Trump was saying one thing over and over again, that this is fake news, that this is a fake election, a rigged election, and that this is going to be the biggest fraud in American history. And then once we started figuring out, you know, what changes might be made because of COVID and may allow people to vote in a safe way, then he was like, this is the fraud. And then he started making lies up about what people were doing. He was saying that people were getting unsolicited ballots. They weren't getting unsolicited ballots. They were getting unsolicited mail ballot request forms, so that you could request a ballot and then have a ballot sent to you, and then therefore wouldn't be a unsolicited ballot. The ballot would be solicited, just the application that was unsolicited. And then what happens? Everyone then starts believing, at least all of his supporters start believing his lies about what the system is going on. And so when it turns out that he ends up losing, because everybody else was like, look, because we are going to have a lot more mail-in ballots in this election, we are going to probably have something that looks like a Donald Trump victory by the end of the night, but then we still have more votes to count, which is why Donald Trump wanted the votes to. He kept saying, stop counting the votes. He didn't want the votes to be counted. Why? Because he knew at the end of the day that the votes that were counted and cast legally were going to make him lose. That's why he wanted the votes to not be counted. And again, anybody who's paying attention to politics knows all this, but just the idea that this all goes back to his initial fake news lie, that everything is fake news. It's all fake because it's making him look bad. And he's the person who's going to constantly be talking about fake, he's going to be, if he's going to constantly be lying, then he needs people to be telling, he needs people to be saying, well, no, they're lying. Because it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And we're still waiting. More commercials about silliness, about all the things that CPAC is doing, I guess, around the world to try and manipulate people and spread their own version of their own fake news. Because they're fake news. They are the fakes. Just like, although, Donald Trump just kept on trying to say that Hillary Clinton was Putin's puppet, when in reality, it was Trump that was Putin's puppet. Trump loved having Donald Trump as president. He loved it. Because he knew he had somebody that he could take advantage of, that he could take actions in the Middle East and not worry about anybody, doing anything about it. Putin was able to expand his power. Donald Trump was never going to challenge Vladimir Putin. Donald Trump loves Vladimir Putin. He reviled him. He believed that Vladimir Putin was, a man's man and just loved being, this is the type of leader that he aspired to be. He aspired to be like Putin. I mean, maybe he wouldn't be able to ride the horse, but it's just ridiculous that he can't, that the people just who used to be so anti-Russia are now like, oh, well, there's no problem with Trump what he does with Russia. Trump was weak on Russia. He was absolutely weak on Russia. I'm almost about ready to give up on this just because of the fact that, he is just taking too long of a time. Oh wait, are those his teleprompters? I thought Donald Trump didn't have to use teleprompters. I thought teleprompters were only for liberals. What is that? Are we getting a commercial ad? Interesting. We got commercial advertising in the middle of the live stream. Are they going to stop the commercial and then go? Are they going to announce Donald Trump yet? They could put his. Well, I mean, it might not be water up there because it's not Marco Rubio. Talking about communist spies for the media outlets. The Epoch Times, which I believe is a Chinese sourced newspaper, is the biggest, one of the biggest Trump apologist organizations. It's terrible. This is just taking so long. What's the difference between this and a session with Trump and Melania? The session with Trump and Melania would be over by now. Would have been over after 5 minutes. Now Trump is too late. That was bad. That was terrible. I know. It's just trying to come up with some fun things to say whilst waiting for our silly president, former president, to get on stage. President Pendejo. Bum, bum, bum. Let us go, let us go. Let's bring the Donald on the stage. Well, they got some funky music.
We are in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Ooh, they're in Minneapolis. Minnesota.
It is great to have you here in Minnesota, home to the only congressional delegation that
18th anniversary of September 11th.
Let's mute that again. I just wanted to hear the funky music they were playing, trying to be cool. Yeah, man, we're cool. We're Republicans. We're cool. Oh, are they? They boo it. Or they got people booing in the audience over whoever is talking. But again, the Hill's not showing that. So. Dum-da-dum. Donald Trump is taking too long to get here. Let's see. Oh, they're talking about the mosque. The 9/11 mosque. That's still coming up. Even though it wasn't a mosque. They're talking about the... Let's see.
Some people did something. Well, people like Dr. Yasser, they did something. They helped rebuild America. They helped promote American values.
One thing I kept hearing from the people of Minnesota was, why don't more people come here and talk to us? Nobody's showing up in Minnesota. We're going to show up. It's right for the Wiggins, for conservatives.
Minnesota, the biggest thing we can do is get the message to people.
That's why I'm here today speaking in Minnesota. When I came out of my addiction,
oh, what are they applauding now? Is he there, or are they just applauding whoever's talking on this? All right, we're gonna. Are they having Rush Limbaugh talking or whatever? That's what who they're applauding. Rush. Only good Rush is the one that's led by Geddy Lee, Alex Lifeson, and Neil Peart. That's the only Rush I like. Oh, that's Bobby Jindal talking? You go back to Bobby? I haven't seen Bobby Jindal talking anything conservative forever. We are waiting for the Donald to show up.
Donald Trump couldn't find your crayon on a map if you had the letter U and a picture of an actual physical crane next to it.
That's true. I don't know who that is talking. Oh, there he goes. Hillary Clinton with the basket of deplorables line. I mean, it's right.
Many who support the present administration are either racist, steeped in religious beliefs, ignorant, or as my mother used to say, just plain dumb.
I'm liking this part.
support President Trump and his immigration policies are racist.
Anyone who supports this is supporting racism.
They're just giving liberals a voice. I guess they're all booing, but I mean, hey. Who's that? Was somebody waving? What's that box coming out? Is he gonna start throwing out hats? Does he have a box of hats that he's gonna throw out once his speech is over? Make America Great Again hats? What's his new slogan gonna be? That's what I want to know. I want to know what his new slogan's gonna be, because there was Make America Great, then there was Keep America Great, but then there was Make America, America, Keep America, America. So I wonder if what the new slogan's gonna be when it comes to Trump. Is it gonna be like Make America Greatness, America Great America Again, like Magaga Gaga, or what is they gonna do this time? Like, that's what I want to know. Make America Trump again, just to have it be MATA. Make America dumb again. I mean, that's what we would need to be to go back to Donald Trump another 4 years. Are they going to play the line from the speech by Donald Trump Jr.'s girlfriend, Kimberly Guilfoyle, which is like, the best is yet to come, showing that the best must not be a Trump wife? Taken on the left, taken immediately. Oh, these conservatives. That's okay. We could turn it back on again, I guess. I don't know. I mean, for some reason this feed's not showing the video, but the East Coast elites. Like, what is it so bad to be an elite person? Like, to be the best of the best. Like, you would want to be the best of the best. You shouldn't oppose being the best of the best. Like, I want especially like intelligent people. Like, I want government made up of smart people, not idiots like Marjorie Taylor Greene, MTG. Not MTG, but MTG. The whole thing about how she potentially, conservatives are always ones who like, oh, you're a cuck, talking about cuckoldry. They're obsessed with cuckoldry. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is rumored to have literally cucked her husband with several different men. I mean, if that's their kink, I'm not judging their kink. I'm judging them on supporting a party that would seek to prevent people from participating in whatever consensual activities that they would want to believe in or participate in. They want to be consenting adults and do what they want to do, fine. I don't care about that. Do it. That makes you happy. That floats your boat. Do it. But don't be a hypocrite and then try and force policies that are Republican policies that are often socially conservative and seeking to restrict people's rights. Don't support those things. That's the problem I have. It's 56 minutes in since when I started this live stream, and Donald Trump still hasn't showed up. Still hasn't showed up. Is he making his grand entrance soon? We want to make the grandest entrance of them all. Be like, come out with like a wrestling theme song. Maybe he can come out and shave Vince McMahon's head again. With Stone Cold and Bobby Lashley. Ridiculous. Who we got there? Who's coming up now, bringing up something else? I'm really wondering if that's a box of hats. That'd be awesome if I'm right about that. A box of new hats. I'm having on DonaldTrump.com a new hat that you could buy for $50. Signed with my signature on him. Not signed by me, but it has my signature on him. And it says, "Keep America's greatness great again." Ka-ga-ga-ga. Oh my god, this is terrible. This is a miserable live stream. You have to be like, I have to put a notice on thing. Note, do not, if you want to actually listen to the live stream of President Trump and my criticism and comments about what he has to say, go an hour in. An hour in. That's what you get. Or either that or I download the video, edit it, and then re-upload it to only have this part. To only have the part that's going to be with Donald Trump talking. If he ever shows up. Maybe it's, I don't know, is it I-4 traffic? Did he stop in Kissimmee or in Disney World to get a churro or some other food from Epcot? I wanted to go right into Small World because their hands make my hands look big. That was one of my favorite jokes that I made about if the good thing about having Donald Trump at the Hall of Presidents in the Magic Kingdom is if, for whatever reason, the hands broke off, they could always go borrow them for the animatronics in It's a Small World. So, there's nothing wrong with my hands. Oh, shut up, Rand. Is that Rand? Clearly, Georgia's not mostly Republican because y'all lost 2 Senate seats. 2.
A real change happening in the state.
Congressman Doug Collins is doing a great job. He calls it like it is. He told us about all the shenanigans going on.
Shenanigans!
With the rules and the laws in Washington that the Democrats don't want to follow, and it's not right.
Yeah, what rules do the Democrats not want to follow? Like the filibuster rules that y'all refuse to follow because y'all refuse to do anything and we're completely obstructionists? Y'all like the filibuster when you use it, but when the Democrats are in the minority, you don't like the filibuster anymore. The grand tradition of the filibuster, which you know is based in Jim Crow racist.
Of the right in America. And in many ways, and this is important, in the world. On top of that, there are these regions.
Ah, here we sit, broken-hearted. Damn.
International meetings, Tokyo, Seoul, Brazil.
Are we not going to have Donald Trump speaking? Ah. What was that? Got a view of my desktop.
The greatest thing about going to
hilarious.
It's just the spirit of radio. I mean, they wanted
The spirit of radio crackles with life. What do I say? What the hell?
The message from America is the following. Number one, what you're doing in Brazil, you're giving us hope.
Oh, something from Brazil.
What we're doing in America is giving you hope. Number two, President Trump stood up in front of the
How many problems did Donald Trump create? A Brazilian.
He says America will never embrace socialism.
I mean, having a military is socialism. There are plenty of things that, you know, Ted Cruz called for federal government and federal aid to come in and help the state of Texas after the power outages. Isn't that socialism? This is only socialism when liberals want it. When conservatives want it, it's somehow something else, something more, something different. Little, yellow, different, better. Are we gonna get Donald Trump yet? Since it's almost 3:30 my time Central, which means he's almost an hour late now. You can say that he lost the election. Yes, he lost the election. Everybody can say that he lost the election because he lost the election.
But Schlappen says Trump shouldn't be held responsible for the deadly insurrection. He gave his speech and then there was a violent insurrection. Responsible in part for what happened. Why can't we deal with that reality?
I go for reality every day. I need to watch CNN just fine. But if you need somebody who's inappropriate to spur violence,
We gonna come on, Trump. Let's go, Trump. Get in the stage so I can get this over with and not deal with your crap.
if you want to highlight the candidates, even for impeachment, actually, certainly right. This is the first chapter. You can't make up. You can't say there was some intent in someone's brain that they never said in words, and that resulted in some kind of violence. Give me the words, and then I need to deal with the fact that maybe somebody in my life did something that I
Let us have something.
Let me ask you one last final question. Are you concerned? Well, it leads to my next question, which is, you had all this lie that Joe Biden stole the election for weeks. He did it again in his speech on January 6th. Are you concerned about having the president back here at CPAC, where he's going to continue to say that the election was stolen?
Were there any illegal ballots cast in that election?
Were there any illegal ballots cast in that election? If one illegal ballot was cast, there were several illegal ballots that were cast in this election. And guess what? They were for Donald Trump. So therefore it was not stolen from Trump.
You just told me that that's actually not right. You just told me that there was illegal voting in the last election.
It was done to benefit Trump, not to benefit anybody else. The way that they're able to just the way that they're able to just lie and spin all this crap is just crazy. So whiny.
And you just said that conservatives spurred
They're so whiny. It's not. We know that it's not as much as to flip the election. Oh my God, that's what the Nazis used to say. These people probably think, oh, this guy's smart. This guy's really smart. We like him. I can't handle the hearing of that anymore. That's just ridiculous. That's what I should do at that point. Oh, they're done now. They're done with that. Playing Michael Jackson. Billie Jean. They're playing Billie Jean. For why? Of course, I'm gonna get copyright dinged right there for a second because they're playing Billie Jean, and I'm sure that's gonna cause me to have a copyright violation or a flag on my thing. So let's just mute that there, so I can. Why are they playing Billie Jean? That's just ridiculous. People always tell me, don't tell you what to do. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. Oh my God, so ridiculous. Oh, is he about to make his grand entrance? Is he going to come? Oh, because somebody's dancing to Billie Jean. Hilarious. Why are they playing Billie Jean? I'm sure they don't have the rights to play Billie Jean. Who owns the rights to Michael Jackson stuff now? Is that Paul McCartney or is that somebody else? I don't know. Wonder who's going to be trying to... Lots of copyright violations that are going to come down for all of these people streaming this. Oh, you're gonna get dinged on the copyright. I mean, it's possible that they might just. I mean, I don't know. They might just say, "Oh, we're gonna pay you. We're gonna pay the copyright holder," which I'm not monetized at this point anyway because they changed monetization rules. But don't think twice. So that's my bad singing. My bad. Bunch of people without rhythm dancing to Michael Jackson. That's right, dance on the 1 and the 3. Start clapping on the 1 and the 3 too. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. They're all excited. They're all excited dancing to Michael Jackson. While some of them are standing there just waiting. Whoa, hello, extreme close-up. Extreme close-up. Whoa! Wayne's World, party time, excellent. Is he coming soon? That's what Melania says. That's what Melania says. Eventually, maybe. They're waving at somebody. Who are they waving at? I don't see anybody. Hey! Stupid conservatives. Are we going to get to it? Translate, and there's a bunch of maskless idiots dancing out of rhythm. to Billie Jean. Are we getting another commercial? Smoothie King. They decided since nothing's going on. Nice.
Deal with hoaxers
we'll play
harassing
this.
me and saying that the event never happened, that my son never lived, or that he never died. And now a sitting member of Congress,
action.sandyhookpromise.org,
has helped spread these conspiracy theorists. She may
I
not
love that this ad is
understand
playing
the
during
harm that these
CPAC.
people have caused me and my family, the threats that we've received, the threats of violence we've received, and yet even now today, she refuses to acknowledge that the school shooting happened and apologize for her actions. At the very least, she should renounce her statements. Please sign our petition demanding that Representative Green renounce her statements and apologize for her actions.
I like that they're doing this
Thank
in
you.
CPAC. In a CPAC ad. That's awesome. Watch, that's when Donald Trump is going to start taking the page. Oh no, they're still dancing to Billie Jean. They're still dancing to Michael Jackson. And they're waving their MAGA hats in the air and waving them like they just don't care. Just wave your MAGA hats in the air and wave him like you just don't care. Hilarious. Now they're playing Phil Collins in the air tonight. Hodor. Oh wait, now they're playing. Yeah, wondering if how many of them are going to do the drumming at the wrong time. Someone's like, I love this song. So yeah, I would be airing more of the audio from this, but you know, I can't, because if I do, then I'm going to get a copyright ding. And I don't want a copyright ding, or at least I don't want it to be flagged that I'm not respecting other people's copyrights. Although, I mean, I'm wondering how The Hill TV is doing it. You know, are they going to get dinged on it? Me, you were drowning. I would not lend a hand. I wonder if I'm going to get a copyright ding for this. Sign your face, my friend. Don't know if you know who I am. So, all right, let's see. Are they going to drum here? Who's going to air drum? Who's going to air drum early? Anybody? Nope, no one did it. I didn't see anybody do it. It sounded like someone might have done it off camera. But now let's see if they do it at the right time, or if they're just, you know, a bunch of soulless hacks that don't know how to do, that don't want to do the drum part. I can feel it coming in the air night. Oh Lord, Hodor. It's the funniest thing when somebody put Hodor instead of the words in one video online. Watch them cut the song off and Trump come in. Remember, don't worry. How could I ever forget? It's the first time, the last time we never met. Oh, reason why you should be so. Hurt doesn't show, the pain still grows. Such differences, you and me. There we go. There's one. He got it right. One of them got it right. Kudos to the man in the back of that shot right there in the white shirt for getting the drum beat right. We might disagree on politics, but at least he got the drum beat right. Hilarious. Come here night, oh Lord. Hodor. Hodor. I can feel it in the air night. Hodor. Alright, come on. Where is the Donald? ¿Dónde está el Donald? We're gonna get something now? Here we sit. Now they're playing Wang Chung. No. Oh, no, it's Village People. Ooh, yeah, Macho Man. I mean, he does love this. Is he going to do his dance? Is he going to come out? Is he going to go his little dance like this? Like, you know, his no rhythm. That's how he dances to this song. Oh, this is insane. How many people are going to... Hey, 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 hey. Macho, macho. As he started doing YMCA, he started doing YMCA. All right, white shirt guy, you've lost me now. You had me with your drumming, but you lost me at the fact that you thought this was YMCA and not Macho Man. Shame on you, sir. Shame on you. Shame on you and your lack of depth of music knowledge. I mean, maybe a lot of their songs do sound very similar. Are we having another ad? Oh, no. I mean, you know, there's a little bit of, you know, same beat from In the Navy a little bit, maybe. Maybe there should be a montage. A montage. Body. He's wearing a mask, though. At least, hey, at least white shirt guy who did the drum beat right but thought it was YMCA, at least he is wearing a mask. I mean, he's still at CPAC, and he's still probably going to get infected because of all the other people who are not wearing masks, but he's wearing a mask. So kudos to you, sir. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Or maybe 2 out of 4. I don't know, because again, he thought it was YMCA, and he's still at CPAC. Oh, look at that one. No rhythm in this group at all. No rhythm in this group. No rhythm in this group at all. Wait, is his nose? I don't think his nose is hanging out. I think he's got the mask on properly. Shockingly enough, she doesn't. Her nose is hanging out, which does him no good, or anybody else any good, because, you know, you breathe through your nose. I mean, maybe a good chunk of these people are mouth breathers, so maybe that's what they're admitting, but, you know. Wow. What other song are we going to hear before we have to wait for Donald Trump to come out? I wonder who's over there that a bunch of people are now looking at, or are they just taking pictures of, oh, she dropped her mask all the way down to her chin, because, you know, you can't talk with a mask on, apparently. Oh, red dress over there has no rhythm. None whatsoever. At least the old lady with the hat tried. I think she might actually also be masked. Macho Man. Oh, you gotta do the Trump dance. Like you're a rock'em sock'em robot. So Trump dances like he's a rock'em sock'em robot. These people have no rhythm. No rhythm whatsoever. Again, I would play this music, but I don't want to ding on my copyright when it comes to YouTube and their filters and stuff. Or actually, not even YouTube per se. It's the companies that use robots to filter through YouTube and everything that's posted and say, oh, you're playing a song that is our copyright, so you have to pay us all your monies now. What's the next song? What's going to be the next song? Like, are they going to do like John Cougar Mellencamp? John Cougar Mellencamp. Gloria. That's right, we're in the 80s. Playing Gloria. Hey, hey, hey. But it's not a 2 for Tuesday. It's a Sucktastic Sunday at CPAC. I thought he's on the run now. Should be like, put the lyrics up there. I can start doing karaoke with my live stream because, you know. Was it something that they said? All the voices in your head calling Gloria, Gloria. I thought you could die, Gloria. Nobody wants you. Isn't anybody calling? You really have to answer. Leave him hanging on the line. Oh, calling Gloria. Gloria. Thinking about your number. I think they got your alias that you've been living under. But you really don't remember. Was there something that they said? Voices in your head. Oh, Gloria. Gloria. Do do do. Gloria. Oh, just going down, down. Down. On the rebound. Money. Take a lover in the afternoon. 'cause you really don't remember. Is it something that they said? Oh, the voices in your head calling Gloria, Gloria. Think you're calling Gloria if anybody wants you. Ugh, so stupid. Where is the Donald? Leave them hanging on the line. Oh, calling Gloria, Gloria. They got your number. I think they got the alias. See, on Twitter. Let's tweet out. And now that Trump is still not on the stage yet, they are playing 80s music. So I am singing along to the music that I can't play on the channel for fear of a copyright violation. Gloria. Stop playing all this music. Get to the Trump stains. Okay. It says is he gonna show? He's finally here. Oh wait, do I have to not play his music as he comes in because it's going to be now more Proud to Be an American? Is that what he's playing? Looks like an old text thing that I would use on one of my old YouTube videos. So let's let Proud to Be an American play out a little bit, and then we'll turn on the audio again. But I can sing along with it maybe. Maybe they won't flag that. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. I wasn't out there to dance to the Macho Man song, unfortunately. I'm just showing up. I'm not talking. I'm just going to clap and wave and leave. All right. Enough music. Let's get on with the show. We've already been streaming for an hour, and I didn't want to have to stream for this long listening to Trump, let alone waiting for Trump. Texas. Whoever's bigger in Texas. New York City, get a rope. All right, let's go. Let's go. Stand back and stand by. Next to you. No doubt I love this land. All right, we get it. Okay, let's let the song finish up. doubt I love this land. He doesn't look very thrilled. All right, are we back? We're good? All right, song's over with. Now he's going to speak. Ugh. Now, where's my vomit bag? Where's my vomit bag? I can hurl. Ugh, I have not missed this voice. I have not missed this ridiculous. Thank you very much.
Do you miss me yet?
I just said I don't miss you. I guess I'm not at CPAC, so.
To so many wonderful friends, conservatives, and fellow citizens in this room, all across our country, I stand before you today to declare that the incredible journey we've begun together, we went through a journey like nobody else. There's never been a journey like it. There's never been a journey so
Don't stop believing. Hold on to the feeling with the journey.
And it is far from being over.
We're going to continue our acts of sedition.
Our movement of proud, hard-working,
our bowel movement,
is the hardest working people, hard-working American patriots, is just getting started, and in the end, we will win. We will win.
I'm sure you won't.
A lot of winning. As we gather this week, we're in the middle of a historic struggle for America's future, America's culture, and America's institutions, borders, and most cherished principles. Our security, our prosperity, and our very identity as Americans is at stake, like perhaps at no other time. So no matter how much the Washington establishment and the powerful special interests may want to silence us, let there be no doubt we will be victorious and America will be stronger and greater than ever before.
Stronger and greater than ever before.
I want to thank my great friends, Matt and Mercedes Schlapp. Thank you. Thank you. Mercedes, thank you very much. And the American Conservative Union for hosting this extraordinary event. They're talking about it all over the world, Matt. I know you don't like it. Okay. All over the world. I also want to pay my love and respect to the great Rush Limbaugh.
Puke. Puke, puke, puke.
Who is watching closely
from below
and smiling down on us. He's watching.
I don't know. Last time you talked about people, you were saying that they're down there. So.
Thank you for being here. So great. Thank you, Catherine.
I want my medal back that I gave him.
So fantastic. Thank you, Catherine, very much. To each and every one of you here at CPAC, I am more grateful to you than you will ever know. We are gathered this afternoon to talk about the future of our movement, the future of our
bowel movement. We're constipated.
Beloved country. For the next 4 years, the brave Republicans in this room will be at the heart of the effort to oppose the radical Democrats, the fake news media, and their toxic cancel culture. Something new to our ears, cancel culture. And I want you to know that I'm going to continue to fight right by your side.
Just like you marched with them to the Capitol? I mean, you lied to them about marching to the Capitol, so why should we believe that you're going to do anything that you say?
New parties. You know, they kept saying, he's going to start a brand new party. We have the Republican Party. It's going to unite and be stronger than ever before. I am not starting a new party. That was fake news.
Well, there we go, fake news.
No. Wouldn't that be brilliant? Let's start a new party and let's divide our vote so that you can never win. No, we're not interested in that. No, we have tremendous. Mr. McLaughlin just gave me numbers that nobody's ever heard of before. More popular than anybody. That's all of us. It's all of us. Those are great numbers, and I want to thank you very much. Those are incredible numbers. I came here and he was giving me 95%, 97%, 92%.
It's CPAC.
They're great.
So it's very biased towards you.
Everybody all throughout the country, throughout the world, if you want to really know that. Thank you. We will be united and strong like never before. We will save and strengthen America, and we will fight the onslaught of radicalism, socialism, and indeed it all leads to communism once and for all. That's what it leads to. You'll be hearing more and more about that as we go along, but that's what it leads to. You know that. We all knew that the Biden administration was going to be bad, but none of us even imagined just how bad they would be and how far left.
They've undid everything that I wanted to do.
We would have those wonderful debates. He would never talk about this. We didn't know what the hell he was talking about, actually. His campaign was all lies. Talked about energy. I said, you know, this guy actually, he's okay with energy. He wasn't okay with energy. Wants to put you all out of business. He's not okay with energy.
No, that's not what he wants to do at all.
The windmills that don't work when you need them.
They do when you have them
Biden
properly.
has had the most disastrous first month of any president in modern history. That's true. Already the Biden administration has proven that they are anti-jobs, anti-family, anti-borders, anti-energy, anti-women, and anti-science.
Anti-science. I mean, anti-women and anti-science. Hilarious.
We have gone from America first to America last. You think about it, right? America last. There's no better example than the new and horrible crisis on our southern border. We did such a good job.
You created the crisis on the border by making them stop all at the border. And ridiculous.
When I left office just 6 weeks ago, we had created the most secure border.
Because you're admitting you left office.
We had built almost 500 miles of the Great Border Wall. That helped us with these numbers because once it's up, you know, they used to say a wall doesn't work. Well, you know what I've always said? Walls and wheels, those are two things that will never change. The wall has been amazing. It's been incredible. And little sections of it to complete. They don't want to complete it. They don't want to
because it's stupid.
In certain little areas, they don't want to complete.
Because it's stupid.
It's had an impact that nobody would have even believed. It's amazing considering that the Democrats' #1 priority was to make sure that the wall would never, ever get built, would never, ever happen.
Because it's stupid.
We got it financed. We ended catch and release, ended asylum fraud, and brought illegal crossings to historic lows. When illegal aliens trespass across our borders, they were promptly caught, detained, and sent back home. These were some rough customers. I want to tell you, some rough customers were entering our country. It took the new administration only a few weeks to turn this unprecedented accomplishment into a self-inflicted humanitarian and national security disaster by recklessly eliminating our border.
Eliminating our border.
All of the things that we...
The border's got us disappeared. There's nothing there.
This triggered a massive flood of illegal immigration into our country, the likes of which we have never seen before. They're coming up by the tens of thousands.
Millions.
To take advantage of
Brazilians of people are coming.
That's luring everybody to come to America.
The law doesn't apply to people that they're trying to pass if they haven't been here already by January of this year.
As much as we'd love to help, we can't do that. So they're all coming because of promises and foolish words. Perhaps worst of all, Joe Biden's decision to cancel border security has single-handedly launched a youth
Dean Obadiah, today would be the perfect day to arrest Donald Trump.
Vicious criminal cartels and some of the most evil people on the planet. You see it every day. Just turn on the news. You'll see it every day. Under my administration, we stopped the child smugglers. We dismantled the criminal cartels. We greatly limited drug and human trafficking to a level that nobody actually thought was possible. And the wall helped us a lot. And we protected vulnerable people. from the ravages of dangerous predators. And that's what they are, dangerous predators. But the Biden administration has put the vile coyotes back in business, and it has done so in a very, very big way. Under the new administration, catch and release has been restored. Can you imagine? We work so hard. Catch, you know what that is. You catch them, you take their name. They may be killers, they may be rapists, they may be drug smugglers. You take their name and you release them into our country. We did the opposite. We not only
put them in cages.
Back to their country. Illegal immigrants are now.
I like cages. They're beautiful cages, the best cages we've ever had. Better than the internment camps in the 1940s of the Japaneses.
They weren't coming because they couldn't get in. Once they think they can get in, they're coming, and they are coming at levels that you haven't even seen yet. By the hundreds of
I'm sure, because you're hooked into the
Biden
briefings, right?
Is now actively expediting the admission of illegal migrants, enabling them to lodge frivolous asylum claims and admitting them
asylum claims?
by the thousands and thousands and thousands.
Asylum is a legitimate thing, and if they don't have a claim, then they're not granted asylum.
Public health crisis, COVID-19, or as I call it, the China virus.
Oh, here we go, racist. Ding! Never implemented my racist ding for Trump.
There's no masks. There's no double masks. That was a new one that came out 2 weeks ago. First, Fauci said, you don't need masks, no masks, no good, no. Then all of a sudden he wanted, now he wants double masks. No social distancing.
You get to see my wife's face every few minutes as I try and...
They're together, and it's sad, actually, and it's sad for them.
There's no masks at this place, but y'all mock the masking, so you are responsible for the spread of this virus. It should be called the Trump virus.
Of human traffickers and coyotes is dangerous, immoral, and indefensible. Hard to believe it's happening. Biden has failed in his number one duty as chief executive, enforcing America's laws. This alone should be reason enough for Democrats to suffer.
You refuse to stop people from attacking the Capitol.
To lose the White House decisively 4 years from now. Actually, as you know, they just lost the White House, but it's one of those things. But who knows?
Fake news.
Who knows? I may even decide to beat them for a third time, okay?
That should be interesting. Not a third time. You lost horribly. That's just the sign of somebody who can't get over anything. Can't handle rejection well. And I've been dealing with that personally in my life too. Somebody, a former friend of mine who can't handle rejection well.
Even on small open sections that just need
He who shall not be named.
Routine little work, it's already been bought. Wait till the contractors get to them and they say, no, it costs us much more money not to finish the small section than if we finished it. That's going to be nice. Wait till you see those bills start pouring in. He revoked the executive order cracking down on deadly sanctuary cities. He has effectively ordered a shutdown.
There's no such thing as a sanctuary city. Cities do not have the constitutional authority to enforce border policies.
And restricting our law enforcement professionals, and they are great professionals. You have many of them represented here today. From conducting almost any immigration enforcement of any kind.
Because it's the job of the federal government to enforce border policies, not local jurisdictions. State and city police and sheriffs or whatever, law enforcement at state level can't do it by the Constitution.
Offenders are set free into American communities. They have no idea. And remember with the caravans, these countries
What the hell?
Not only the three of them, but many, many countries all over the world, they're not giving us their best and their finest because they're intelligent. They're not giving us their best and their finest. Remember I said that.
You just said it again. Said it twice.
Some time ago, when I made the first remarks, when I came down the escalator with our great future First Lady.
Be bad.
She says hello.
She says hello. Of course she's not coming.
I love you. But I said that a long time ago, and we turned out to be 100% correct. Biden's radical immigration policies aren't just illegal. They're immoral, they're heartless, and they are a betrayal of our nation's core values. It's a terrible thing that's happened. The Republican Party must hold Joe Biden and the Democrats. They ripped up the diplomatic agreements we negotiated with Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador to shut down illegal immigration. You know, they got a fortune. They got paid $500 million a year. When I came into office, those countries were refusing to take back illegal alien gang members, including MS-13, the most vicious, probably of them all.
Well, if there were gang members here, why would they want them back?
They do things that even the worst don't think about. So I asked, how much do we pay these countries? How much do we pay them? Sir, we pay them approximately $500 million a year. It's a lot of money. I mean, it's peanuts compared to the way other countries rip us off, but that's a lot of money. I said, okay, we aren't going to pay them anymore because they wouldn't take back the criminals. And this was true with the Obama administration. It was true for many, many years. So we'd catch a murderer, we'd want to bring him back to Guatemala, Honduras, Salvador. They wouldn't take him back. No, we don't want him. We'd fly him in, they wouldn't let the plane land. We'd bus him in, they wouldn't let the buses get anywhere near the border. And I said, we're not going to pay him anymore. So after I said that, and I stopped payment, like a term that we use in the world of business, let's stop payment. So we stopped
That's what he likes to do a lot, stopping payment to all of his contractors.
They were delinquent. We stopped payment. And they very quickly came to the table and we made a deal, very quick deal. We still kept the money. We still didn't pay because...
See, that's what he does. That's what he does. He makes deals and then he reneges on them.
And when illegal aliens came across our border, they were rapidly deported and lovingly accepted by those countries from where they came. And it worked out great. So now they accept the people. And then we ultimately got along very well with those countries, those three countries, and many countries throughout the world because they respected us again.
No. Who respected you? That's ridiculous. It's like he lives in a fictional fantasy world where he's the best person ever. He is a fraud. Donald Trump is a huge fraud. Not a frog, but a fraud.
A small portion of what's going on. To top it all off, the Biden people are pushing a bill that would grant mass amnesty for millions of illegal aliens.
As Reagan did.
While massively expanding chain migration. That's where you come in and everybody comes in, your grandmother, your father, your mother, your
Melania.
cousins. They come in so easily, so crazy, so crazy.
Only my wife can do it. No one else can take advantage of the system.
Taxable funded lawyers. Anybody need a good lawyer? You can't have one. They get the lawyers. They get lawyers. They're probably very good too. The Democrat immigration bill is a globalist corporate. Take a look.
Oh, here we go. Globalism.
Big tech attack on hardworking citizens.
Where's the attack on the Jews next?
Color and creed. And Republicans must ensure that it never is allowed to become federal law, which is what they want.
Good luck with that.
We must stand tall in the party. We have to do this. We have to stand tall as the for law-abiding Americans and others when they're in our country. Border security is just one of the many issues on which the new administration has already betrayed the American people.
Oh, it's such a betrayal.
He didn't talk about this stuff. I debated him. He wasn't talking about this. He wasn't what he signed with those executive orders. They weren't things that were discussed. We didn't know all about him in the press because they're fake news. They're the biggest fakers there are. But
it's all fake news. Nothing that I say is false, but it's all rest of it's fake news.
Refuse to ask the questions. And when I ask the questions on television, on the debate, Chris Wallace in this case and others refuse to let him answer. They refuse to let him answer the questions. Maybe we could have found something, or if the media did its job, which they don't. Their callous indifference to working families is equally clear when it comes to the critical matter of getting American
Republicans blocked
back to school.
Republicans blocked funds,
and they must get
additional funds while you were president.
Right now.
And getting back to school is too dangerous in red zones. If you listen to the science, you said you want to listen to the science, but yet you want them back now. Idiot.
Terrible. The Biden administration is actually bragging about the classroom education they are providing to migrant children on the border, while at the same time millions of American children are having their futures destroyed by Joe Biden's anti-science school closures. Think of it.
The school closures aren't anti-science yet, dumb.
But our own people, children of citizens themselves, are not getting the education that they deserve. There's no reason whatsoever why
my kids are currently in school. I mean, it's virtual, but they're taking classes.
Be back in school immediately.
The science should dictate when you return back to in-person instruction.
The parents do not have that choice is because Joe Biden sold out America's children to the teachers' unions.
Oh, because the teachers don't want to get sick because of, plague rat people.
This position is morally inexcusable, you know that. Joe Biden has shamefully betrayed America's youth, and he is cruelly keeping our children locked in their homes. No reason for it whatsoever. They want to get out. They're cheating the next generation of Americans out of the future that they deserve, and they do deserve this future. They're going to grow up, and they're going to have a scar. It's a scandal of the highest order and one of the most graven acts by any president in our lifetimes. It's the teachers' union. It's the vote.
The school closures happened during your presidency, you dumb.
Has more respect for teachers than I do, and I'll bet you a lot of the people within that union, they agree with everything I'm saying. Even the New York Times is calling out the Democrats. The mental and physical health of these young people is reaching a breaking point. Tragically, suicide attempts have skyrocketed, and student depression is now commonplace and at levels that we've never seen before. The Democrats now say we have to pass their $1.9 trillion boondoggle to open schools, but a very small part of it has to do with that. You know where it's going. It's going to bail out badly run Democrat cities, so much of it. But billions of dollars for schools remain unspent from the COVID relief bills that were passed last year. So on behalf of the moms, dads, and children of America, I call on Joe Biden to get the schools open. And
He's trying to get the schools open. He's doing it more quickly than I would support. Yet, he wants to follow CDC guidelines, something that you fought against.
When I left office,
Mr. Bleach in the veins, light in the veins, injecting bleach.
The FDA said it, everybody said it. Any article you read said it. Couldn't be done. It would be years and years. I handed the new administration what everyone is now calling a modern-day medical miracle. Some say it's the greatest thing to happen.
You handed him no method to get them distributed.
2 vaccines produced in record time. Others on the way, including the Johnson & Johnson vaccine that was approved just yesterday.
They're going to applaud it, but these people won't take it because they'll doubt it.
And therapeutic relief also, if you're sick.
Here comes the hydroxychloroquine.
That are incredible. What has taken place over the last year.
Maybe less people would have gotten sick had you been a more responsible leader when it came to dealing with how to prevent the spread of COVID.
And we got it done in 9 months. Everyone says 5 years.
Barack Obama got the swine flu vaccine distributed in 6, or finished in 6.
Go through what all countries of the world who are now getting the vaccine or soon will be getting it from various companies. But can you imagine if all of those countries had to go through what they've been going through over the last year? You'd lose hundreds of millions of people.
What?
I pushed the FDA like they have never been pushed before. They told me that loud and clear. They have never been pushed like I pushed them. I didn't like them at all.
Well, because you don't like science.
Once we got it done, I said, I now love you very much. What the Trump administration has done with vaccines has, in many respects, perhaps saved large portions of the world, not only our country, but large portions of the world. Not only did we push the FDA far beyond what the bureaucrats wanted to do, we also put up billions and billions of dollars, $10 billion, to produce the vaccines before we knew they were going to work. It was called a calculated bet or a calculated risk. We took a risk because if we didn't do that, you still wouldn't have the vaccines. You wouldn't have them for a long time. So think of that. We took this bet. We made a bet because we thought we were on a certain track. But you'd be starting to make them right now. It would be a long time before you ever saw them. It takes 60 to 100 days to manufacture and inspect new doses. And that means that 100% of the increased availability that we have now was initiated by our administration. 100%.
Sure.
In fact,
the gains that were taking place during your administration were in spite of you.
Francis Collins, he's Fauci's boss, actually. I think he's a Democrat, too, by the way. Recently said that our Operation Warp Speed was absolutely breathtaking and that the Trump administration deserves full credit.
And then what did you leave us in distribution to distribute those? Nothing.
And as conservatives and Republicans, never forget that we did it. Never let them take the credit because they don't deserve the credit. They just followed now, they're following our plan, but
they're not. You had no plan.
They call it an absolute miracle. Joe Biden is only implementing the plan that we put in place. And if we had an honest media, which we don't, they would say it loud and clear. By the time I left that magnificent house at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, almost 20 million Americans had already been vaccinated. 1.5 million doses were administered on my final day alone. 1.5 million in a day. Yet Biden said just a few days ago that when he got here, meaning the White House, there was no vaccine. He said there's no vaccine.
He didn't say there was no vaccine. There was no plan to distribute the vaccine.
Now, I don't think he said that, frankly, in a malicious way. I really don't. I actually believe he said that because he didn't really know what the hell was happening.
Ridiculousness.
Never let them forget this was us. We did this. And the distribution is moving along according to our plan. And it's moving along really well. We had the military, what they've done, our generals, and all of the people, what they've incredible. But remember, we took care of a lot of people, including, I guess, on December 21st, we took care of Joe Biden because he got his shot. He got his vaccine. He forgot. It shows you how unpainful that vaccine shot is. So everybody go get your shot.
At least that one thing he did good in this entire thing is just said, everybody go get your shot.
He got his shot. And it's good that he got his shot. Last year, I predicted to you that the extremism, corruption, and incompetence of the Biden administration would be literally unprecedented in American history. Unfortunately, he has proven me 100% right. Already, as president, Biden has urged Congress legislation shredding your Second Amendment. Your Second Amendment is in far bigger trouble than you know. And for 4 years, I fought like hell to save your Second Amendment.
Except for the fact that you felt that you should be able to take guns away preemptively from people who you think are dangerous, and then they said, the conservatives were like, what? But no.
Trainings in every department of the federal government, including the U.S. military, after I had terminated these horrible things that were being preached to our military.
What horrible things are being preached to our military?
To go forward. It's insane. Within his first few hours, Biden eliminated our national security travel bans on nations plagued by terrorism. His first priority was to open our borders to unvetted travelers from Libya, Yemen, Syria, Somalia.
Because he wanted to get rid of your racist policies.
Where strict vetting cannot occur. Countries that have tremendous problems. Countries with tremendous terrorism problems. We did a travel ban. It was a real achievement. We told those countries, sorry, straighten out your act. We don't want people coming in where they had an ideology or a problem. We just couldn't have it. And it was incredible. How it worked was incredible. And he terminated it. We had to get it approved. It went all the way up to the Supreme Court.
He terminated it because it's racist.
And
it was your first step in your attempts to complete your 2016 plan to ban all Muslims from entering the country.
Hundreds of times as millions of people flow up through our soon-to-be open borders. And by the way, the Border Patrol and ICEs are some of the great heroes of our country. These are incredible people. I got to know them very well. Your family still cannot go out to eat at local restaurants, but Joe Biden is bringing in thousands upon thousands of refugees from all over the world, people that...
So one has nothing to do with the other. You can get takeout from a restaurant. That has nothing to do with whether or not we keep taking refugees.
When I left office, we had virtually ended the endless wars. These endless wars, they go on forever.
You virtually ended the endless wars, except for the fact that we still have troops in Afghanistan.
I would go to Dover and I would see caskets, coffins coming in. I'd see parents and wives and husbands. I would see the kids. Endless wars, 19 years in Afghanistan. We have it down to almost nothing left, and I hear they might want to go back in.
What do you hear? Where are you hearing that from?
I used to say, don't go in, but if you're going to go in, keep the oil. We didn't keep the oil. We had made historic peace deals in the Middle East, like nobody thought were even possible.
You gave up the house. You gave away the chicken for free or whatever when it came to moving the embassy to Jerusalem. Got nothing in return for it. And Donald Trump talks about guns and gun rights, but CPAC's a gun-free zone.
Has been killed in Afghanistan in over a year. Think of that. Not one. Those troops have largely come home. At the same time, the new administration unilaterally withdrew our crippling sanctions on Iran, foolishly giving away all of America's leverage before negotiations had even begun. Leave the sanctions, negotiate. Does anybody understand what I'm saying here? Are there any good business people? You don't have to be a good. Are there any bad business people?
Yes, there's a bad business person speaking right on the podium.
They took off the sanctions. They said, well, we're going to not have any sanctions. Let's negotiate a deal. I don't know, Matt Schlapp. I don't think you would have done that. Do you think so, Matt? I don't think so. Mercedes wouldn't. No, you do that, you make a deal, and then you do what they wanted. I will tell you something, and I said it. Had we had a fair election...
Oh, here we go.
The results would have been much different, and we would have had a deal. We would have had a deal with Iran within the... They wanted those sanctions off. You took them off for nothing. For nothing. Now you watch how tough they negotiate. In another horrendous surrender, he agreed to get back into the World Health Organization.
Oh, terrible that we want to get back to the World Health Organization to help fight COVID-19.
$500 million a year, which is what we were paying. When I withdrew from the WHO, and you know the whole story with that, they called it badly. They really are puppets for China. They called and they wanted us to stay in. I said, how much are we paying? Approximately $500 million. How much is China paying? larger in terms of population.
Much larger in terms of population.
I said, why are we paying $500 million and they're paying 39? I can tell you why. Because the people that made the deal are stupid. That's why. So.
Because we're a very powerful nation and we have the economy to.
I didn't even know if I would be able to politically because people were so happy when I did get out. But I said, so we went in, we could get it for 39 million, which is what China, not 500 million, which is what we were stupidly paying. And they said, we can make a deal. We want you to go in. We can make a deal. Okay, and I decided not to do it. We could have had
sure,
it for
we believe you.
We could have had it for the same as China, and they decide now to go back into the World Health Organization and pay.
Because we have an international global pandemic.
No, this is just emblematic.
Global
it's
pandemic.
A tremendous amount of money, but compared to trillions, it's not. But it's a tremendous amount of money. Why would China pay 39 million and we're paying almost 500 million? Why? So we could have made the same deal that China had, 39 million, and they just say, we're going back in. We're going back into the World Health Organization. They go back in, they pay 500. It is so sad. Just like the Iran and the World Health Organization, Joe Biden put the United States back into the very unfair and very costly Paris Climate Accord without negotiating a better deal. They wanted us so badly back in.
That whatever 30 about whatever that he was saying is false according to Axios.
Let's come back into the Paris Accord. I said, tell me why. Give me one good reason. First of all, China doesn't kick in for 10 years.
I mean, China does pay much less, but
an old standard, which was not a clean standard, and other countries, but we get hit right from the beginning. Would have cost us hundreds of thousands and millions of jobs. It was a disaster. But they go back in. I could have made an unbelievable deal and gone back in, but I didn't want to do that. Surrendering millions of jobs and trillions of dollars to all of these other countries, almost all of them, that were in the deal. So they have favorable treatment. We don't have favorable treatment, and we just said, we're going back in. To go back in, they wanted us so badly, you could have negotiated. If you wanted to go back in, the cleanest air, the cleanest water, and everything else that we've ever had, so I don't know why we have to.
15% of the funding of the WHO comes from the United States of America. 10% comes from Bill and Melinda Gates.
You know, the world is actually a small universe, right? They're pouring fumes, and we're trying to protect everything and building products for 3 times more than say. No, they could have made a great deal. If they were going to go back in, that's fine.
74% is voluntary contributions.
Say, we're back in. These people. And in one of his first official acts, which was incredible because, again, he talked about energy. He never said he was going to do this. He canceled the Keystone XL pipeline.
Good.
Destroying 1,000 or the 9,000 or the 11,000 jobs that you hear, but 42,000 great-paying jobs on just about day one, right? He never talked about that during a debate. Because he wouldn't have gotten away with it. Well, he would have, because they cheated so much, it probably would.
He cheated, liar.
No, that was not a topic of conversation, remember? Fracking, you can frack. Oh, we love fracking. During the primary, no fracking. As soon as he got through that, he said, no, of course, everybody can frack. No fracking. You wait till you see what happens with your gasoline. Wait till you see what happens. And we cannot let this stuff continue to go on. One of my proudest accomplishments as president was to make America.
According to 2019, China gave 75,000 instead of not 30,000, not 39,000, not 59, 79,000 plus 10,000 voluntary contributions. Still much less than what the United States gave, but Donald Trump's numbers are false when it comes to the Chinese contributions to the
bigger than
WHO.
Russia by a lot. We left them all in the dust. They were all in the. But if the Democrats have their way, we are heading from energy dominance to energy disaster. That's what's happening. You have to see what's going on. Everything's being closed up. It's a disaster. The blackouts we saw in California last summer and all the time. The windmill calamity that we're witnessing in Texas.
The windmills made more energy than they expected they would make, and would have worked properly had they installed them properly with the proper weatherization.
So I talk about it all the time at CPAC, right?
Windmills work in Antarctica, in Denmark.
The wind isn't blowing. I don't believe we'll have any electricity. Remember, we would kid, but I wasn't actually kidding. It's such an.
I would kid, but I wasn't kidding. But I was kidding, but I was not kidding.
Bad for the environment. It kills the birds.
It kills the frickin' birds. I knew it was going there.
These are structural columns with fans on them. They wear out, and when they wear out all over the country, you see them. Nobody takes them down. They're rotting. They're rusting. How this is environmentally good for our country, and it costs many, many times more than natural gas, which is clean. It costs many more and can fuel our great. Can't do that, and solar. I love solar. We have the capacity to do what we have to do to make America great again. Sorry.
Oh, here we go.
Under the radical Democrat policies, the price of gasoline has already surged 30% since the election.
The gasoline prices were even higher under yours than what they currently are, but let's ignore that, right? Ignore that.
About $200 to fill up your van. You go to the. Remember, they used to go to the little small vans. They got away from the big ones that everybody wanted. They went to the small ones. Well, you know what? Probably a good investment as long as these guys have their say, because it's a shame what's happening. Energy prices are going to go through the roof, and that includes your electric bills. That includes any bill having to do with energy, our biggest cost. We will now be relying on Russia and the Middle East for oil. And they talk about Russia. What's better than what this guy's done for Russia? I had oil where they were actually paying you to take it, okay? That was a little. Remember, they were going to give you $37 a barrel, but you had to take it away. You had free oil almost for a period of time, and one way I was proud of it, but we also had to save the energy industry, and it worked out well. And I dealt with Russia.
So you kill the energy industry, and then you're taking credit for it, but then you're going to try and save it after. This is why you're not a good businessman.
Because now they're taking this incredible energy independence away from the people of our country, and you're going to see costs go like you have never seen them go before. It's a very sad and very stupid thing that they're doing. The Biden policies are a massive win for other oil-producing countries, and a loss for the United States and our great citizens. Joe Biden and the Democrats are even pushing policies that would destroy women's sports. A lot of new records are being broken in women's sports. Hate to say that, ladies, but got a lot of new records. They're being shattered. Years, the weightlifting, every ounce is like a big deal for many years. All of a sudden, somebody comes along and beats it by 100. Now, young girls and women are incensed that they are now being forced to compete.
Oh, here we go.
Who are biological males.
They're not they're trans women or women.
It's not good for women's sports, which worked so long and so hard to get to where they are. The records that stood for years, even decades, are now being smashed. If this is not changed, women's sports, as we know it, will die. They'll end. It'll end. What coach, if I'm a coach, I want to be a great coach. What coach, as an example, wants to recruit a young woman to compete if her record can easily be broken by somebody who was born a man? Not too many of those coaches around.
The transphobia.
They are around. They won't be around long because they're going to have a big problem when their record is. We're 0-16, but we're getting better. No, I think it's crazy. I think it's just crazy what's happening. We must protect the integrity of women's sports. So important.
You do so by respecting that trans women are women. You don't do so by telling one set of women that they're not allowed to participate. And the odds that anybody's daughter is going to miss out on an opportunity because of a trans woman is ridiculous.
Is that controversial?
It is controversial because you're an idiot. And you're a homophobe, and you're a transphobe, and you're a racist, and you're a bigot. I missed what he said. What did he say?
As you can see, the early weeks of the Biden... in sports, so important. Have to.
See what he said again?
And I don't even know, is that controversial? You know, somebody said, well, that's going to be very controversial. I said, that's okay. You haven't heard anything yet.
Oh, jeez.
I'd watch somebody who came in second in New Hampshire, first in Iowa, and that was the end, and they became famous for the rest of their lives. We won the election twice. I mean, you know, think about it.
You didn't win it twice.
The task for our movement and our party is to stand up to this destructive agenda with confidence and with resolve. The future of the Republican Party is as a party that defends the social, economic, and cultural interests and values of working American families of every race, color, and creed. That's why the party is growing so rapidly, and it's becoming a different party. And it's becoming a party of love. You have to see outside the streets. I mean, there's such love.
Such love. I'm sure it's so lovely. They love you because they're kissing your ass. They don't love anybody else. If they loved the people around them, they'd wear masks and protect them. They wouldn't mock masking. They'd do what it takes to protect their neighbors. They don't love people. That's hatred. They hate people. The party of hate.
That's right. No, it's a party that's incredible. The people, the spirit. And there are, as you probably heard a little while ago, I mean, there's more spirit now than there's ever been, including even before the election. More spirit now than we've ever seen, because people are seeing how bad it can be. And again, I want to thank Rush and Catherine, because what he did to get the word out has been incredible. Some people are irreplaceable, as Sean Hannity would say, and he said Rush is irreplaceable. But his spirit lives on, and that's something that we need and we love. Republicans believe that the needs of every citizen must come first. In fact, America must come first. We don't put it first.
There we go, the America First statement, as stated by Nazis back in the day.
Americans of all backgrounds like never before. Like never before. We built the strongest economy in the history of the world, raised wages, and achieved the lowest African American, Hispanic American, Asian American unemployment rates ever recorded. It was so great for everybody of all backgrounds.
And then you allowed the virus to spread, and they rejected science.
China virus, we are leading the world. Nobody's even close. We're leading it in the comeback. Our economic comeback has been incredible. That's because the financial and economic foundation we built was so strong that unlike other countries who are having a hard time, we didn't break. We came roaring back, and now our stock market and your 401ks are again at record levels, higher than ever before, actually.
And they haven't dropped since Biden took office, have they?
Many people have asked, what is Trumpism? A new term being used more and more. I'm hearing that term more and more. I didn't come up with it. But what it means is great deals, great trade deals, great
deals. Horrible
deals.
Deals. You did give away everything. Give away the house in the Jerusalem embassy.
The horrible NAFTA. NAFTA was one of the worst deals ever made, probably the worst trade deal ever made. And we ended it. You know, a lot of people forget. We ended it. Now we have the USMCA, Mexico, Canada. It's
and me, Mike
what
D.
it's done for our farmers, who are doing fantastically. Did you see grain prices and grain sales are at an all-time high? Wheat, all-time high. So many elements of farms and farmers, and they love me. And remember, it's going to be very close in Iowa. Well, it wasn't close. We won in a landslide, Iowa, because our farmers know, and they put up with it, and we did a lot of work with the tariffs and all these things that we had to do to get it.
You killed the farmers with the tariffs.
But they're setting records. It means low taxes and eliminating job-killing regulations, Trumpism. It means strong borders.
Limiting regulations just because they're called regulations and not thinking about the results of the regulations you're dumping through. That's Trumpism.
As opposed to coming here and not being good for us, including criminals, of which there are many. It means no riots in the streets. It means law enforcement.
It means pepper spraying peaceful protesters. You can make a
very strong
photo op with holding a Bible.
Protection for the Second Amendment and the right to keep and bear arms. It means support for the forgotten men and women who have been taken advantage of for so many years, and they were doing great. They were doing great before that horrible thing from China came in and hit us, and now they're starting to do really well again. You know, if you think about it, we built the economy twice. We built it then, and then like every other country in the world, it went down, and then we built it again. Now it's higher in many ways, certainly in the stock market, it's higher in many ways than it was before. That's because of the foundation. And no country comes even close to competing with our comeback. And it means a strong military and taking care of our vets, but a strong military, which we have totally rebuilt. We have rebuilt.
It wasn't probably, you didn't have to rebuild anything. And you have what, the F-35 is a failure? Y'all wanted to double down on that? Y'all want to buy tanks for the military that doesn't want the tanks? Wasting money, funneling into the military defense contractors?
And we take care of
That's what you do.
You know, we had a poll recently, just before leaving office. The vets had a 91% approval rating for the way we took care of them. That's the highest number
I'm sure they
in the
did.
history of the polls. The vet polls.
The stripper polls.
We have even created the Space Force, the first new branch of the United States of America.
Space Force. Yeah. What has that done? The mockery?
The mission of the Democrat Party is to promote socialism. They want to promote socialism, ultimately leading, unfortunately, to communism. And that will happen. If you look at Venezuela, you look at some of these countries, that's why some of our biggest supporters are from South America, Latin America, because they've seen what goes on with all of this cancel culture, and you can't speak, and let's cut them off, and let's not give them words. The mission of our movement and of the Republican Party must be to create a future of good jobs, strong families,
Good jobs that we can pay slave wages for, and fight a higher minimum wage because, you know, it's only $7-something an hour. So people can live on that.
Their party is based upon unvarnished disdain for America, its past, and its people. You see that happening. It's horrible.
Yes, we don't like the fact that we had horrible things in our past. You want to sugarcoat it, like give everyone diabetes.
Love for America and the belief that this is an exceptional nation blessed by God.
You don't believe in God. You use religion to pander to your masses.
We teach the truth about history.
You probably sniffed cocaine off of hookers' asses and don't give a crap. Well, maybe that was Don Jr. I don't
George
know.
Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson, and all national heroes. And of course, we respect our great American flag.
Do you now? How do you respect the flag? All the people at your conference that are wearing American flag jackets and pants and all that other shirts? That's how you do it? By lowering it at half staff for Rush frickin' Limbaugh?
Thank you very
I love you too.
Thank you very much.
Don't tell Melania. I've said that a lot.
That hearing, we really were getting word of that, hearing that during some of the rallies, especially the
What?
banner
What?
rallies where we said
What was that word salad?
56 unbelievable packed rallies, and nobody's ever had anything like we had. And we started hearing, "We love you," and I asked somebody, you know, because we really liked Ronald Reagan, right? He was a great president. We had others.
Ronald Reagan gave amnesty to illegal aliens, to undocumented people.
The best of all of these political professionals' knowledge.
My bad, I said it wrong, I'm sorry.
That chant before, man. So it's an honor. Believe me, it's an honor. Great honor. It's a great honor. You know, when you think about we love you, you're saying that about, I hate to say it, am I a politician? I don't know. Maybe I hate to admit it, but that's really, it's an honor that you would say it. We believe in patriotic education and strongly oppose
patriotic re-education, like camps. Re-education camps, that's what you want.
We are committed to defending innocent life and to upholding the Judeo-Christian values.
No such thing as Judeo-Christian values. Jewish values and Christian values. Jews can't eat bacon. Well, by law, I eat bacon. But Christians, the differences between the two religions.
We embrace free thought. We stand up to political correctness. And we reject left-wing lunacy. And in particular, we reject cancel culture.
We don't like the cancel. Cancel culture is a cancer. We need to cancel culture because it's a cancer on the cancel culture cancer.
We know that the rule of law is the ultimate safeguard. And we affirm that the Constitution means exactly what it says.
Except when we have to go to the Founding Fathers and the Federalist Papers and start citing the Federalist Papers.
They want to change it. They want to get
It's
rid
bull.
of it, right?
That's bull because you always talk about the Federalist Papers.
That the men and women of law enforcement are heroes who truly deserve
Except when they kneel on somebody's neck and the ones that protect the ones. Yes, we should. You don't understand what defunding the police means.
Standing up to China, shutting down outsourcing, bringing back our factories and supply chains, and ensuring that America, not China, dominates the future of the world.
Dominates, huh? Okay,
By the way, we
Hair
took in
Trump.
hundreds of billions of dollars from China. During my administration, they never gave us 10 cents. It was a one-way street. We took in hundreds of billions, and during negotiations, they would say, look, the one thing, we don't want any more of these tariffs. Those tariffs, we took in so much money. And what happened is they became competitive. So what happened with people, they wouldn't go to China. They'd build a lot of it back in our country. They would make it here instead. And in addition to that, we were taking in billions and billions and billions of dollars from China. But in all fairness to China, we made a trade deal with them. This was prior to COVID. Once COVID happened, I no longer cared so much about the trade deal because what happened with that was just disgraceful. But that's one
Yes, what you did was disgraceful. Your inactions and ineptitude and downplaying of the virus was disgraceful.
Go and get a lot of wheat, get a lot of different things, all of the things we just talked about. You better go out and do it because this country has not been treated fairly by you for many, many years. Many, many years. We used to lose $504 billion trade deficit with China. 504, not million, $504 million a lot. Right? You know that through the World Health Organization. Now take 504 million, make it $504 billion. We had deficits with China. It was absolutely insane that this could keep going on. It's amazing that you still have a country left. The people that did this to our country,
You don't have whatever. You don't have a country. You don't have borders. You don't have a country.
companies that leave America to create
His
jobs
don't
in
have a
China
country
and
line.
other
It's like
countries
his
that have ripped us off
most
for
jump the
years
shark line.
should not be rewarded.
We have a country.
They should be tariffed, fined, and punished. They should not be rewarded. And that's what the Biden administration is doing. But of course, as you know, they have a very close personal relationship with China. So I don't expect much out of it. It's a shame because it really is a threat. It's a tremendous economic threat. And thank God we've rebuilt our military. But it's a tremendous economic
J.L. Calvin, the white trash source awards.
the convictions that define
How would you describe what CPAC has become? The white trash source awards. Hilarious.
It's really quite simple, isn't it? Another one of the most urgent issues facing the Republican Party is that of ensuring fair, honest, and secure elections.
That's a crock of crap. And the first thing we do to make it sure elections are fair is that make sure that they're white. White.
Such a
White elections are fair elections. You can't allow black people to vote. That's a violation of fairness.
We must pass comprehensive election reforms, and we must do it now. The Democrats use the China virus as an excuse to change all of the election rules without the approval of their state legislatures, making it therefore illegal. It had a massive impact on the election. Again, you have to go to the legislatures to get these approvals. This alone would have easily changed the outcome of the election at levels that you wouldn't have even believed. Even
the people that cheated voted for you.
Even with all of the things,
and then DeJoy cheated for you by slowing the mail in areas where they had mail-in votes that the mail had to be in by election day and couldn't be late.
Be repeated or happen again. Can never let that happen again. You see what's going on. We've been set back so greatly with other countries and with the world. We need election integrity and election reform immediately. Republicans should be the party of honest elections that can give everyone confidence.
One could only hope that the Republican Party would be the party of honest elections, but they're not. The Republicans don't want honest elections. They want to stop black people from voting. Clearly.
The reality is you cannot have a situation where ballots are indiscriminately pouring in from all over the country. Tens of millions of ballots. Where are they coming from? They're coming all over.
Lies, 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 lies.
Where illegal aliens and dead people are voting, and many other horrible things are happening.
Many other horrible things. The dead person that voted was somebody who voted for you. Somebody who voted for his mother.
Dishonesty is not to be believed. We have a very sick and corrupt electoral process that must be fixed.
That gives far too much advantage to conservative states.
And the Supreme Court and other courts didn't want to do anything about it.
Because your lies were lies and were lies, and you were lying. That's why the Supreme Court didn't want to do anything, because you're a freaking liar. You're full of crap. Bitch, true. Now you're going to tell them to go march on the Capitol again? Bunch of delusional people. Are there drugs?
Where they didn't go through legislatures. It's illegal. You can't do it. It's in the Constitution. They didn't have the courage, the Supreme Court. They didn't have the courage to act, but instead used process and lack of standing. I was told the President of the United States has no standing. It's my election. It's your election. We have no standing. We had almost 20...
I mean, I agree that sometimes standing can be taken to a ridiculous level, but...
So that we didn't have a standing problem. They rejected it. They rejected it. They should be ashamed of themselves for what they've done to our country. They didn't have the guts.
You don't have a country.
To make the right decision.
Wish you didn't have a country. Deport your ass back over to Russia. They can have you, since you like Russia so much.
You had the case led by the great state of Texas.
Well, obviously the Texas case clearly had no standing. No, that's clear.
They didn't have the guts to do it.
The Texas case doesn't have standing because Texas can't tell Pennsylvania how to do their elections.
Of cheating, but this is the most basic of all. They would have local courts and local politicians change the rules, in some cases a day or two before the election. This should never be allowed to happen. To another presidential candidate or presidential race should never be allowed to happen.
No one like me should be allowed to lose.
The steps that we must take.
It's still real to me, damn it.
An election system in this country that is honest, fair, and accurate. We need
honest, fair, and accurate.
Election day, not 45, 30.
Why? Why do you need one election day? Why can't people vote? There are people who work on that day that are benefited from going other days. Make an election month.
And if Republicans don't get this and the other things I'm going to say, then you should, like the Supreme Court, be ashamed of yourselves. One day, And the only people that should be allowed to vote by mail are people that can be proven to be either very sick or out of the country or military where they can't do it. One day, they have
there are states that do completely by mail, mail-in voting.
All over the place for long periods of time. Gee, I wonder what happens with those ballots. I wonder what happens.
Nothing, because they're watched and locked up.
It's an absolute disgrace.
There are states that do entire statewide mail-in voting.
Vote absentee has to have a reason. We should eliminate the insanity of mass and very corrupt mail-in voting.
There's no evidence that states that do mail-in voting 100%. Voter ID laws would be probably more supported if you didn't throw in other laws, other non-ID provisions into those ID laws.
You know, to get into the Democrat National Convention, when they had the convention, you needed voter ID. You needed an ID card. You couldn't get in unless you had an ID. So many people told me you can't get in that place, you need ID. Nobody had ID. You need voter ID, they know that.
Provide a national voter ID where everyone can get one for free, a picture ID. Let that happen. Let everybody have one.
I should have said, we will not have a wall. And then they would have said, let's build a wall. I made a big mistake. I'm sorry. Took us a year and a half extra because of that mistake. We will not have a wall. We need a wall immediately, said Chuck Schumer. We need universal signature matching. They want to pass a bill where you don't have to match signatures, where signatures don't mean anything. Now, they know it's all, just like with the wall.
Who judges this that a signature is an exact match? My signature is not an exact match every time.
But for voting, which is our most
sacred... a lot of my signatures are similar, but they're not an exact match. Depends how long. I'm writing out Z-I-M-M-E. I have to write. Sometimes I get tired of it. Just scribbled out.
And there must be a chain of custody protections for every ballot. Every ballot.
What about a hard copy? Would you want a hard copy?
And you saw what happened in Detroit and Philadelphia and many other places. Swing states mostly. All over, but swing states mostly. You saw what happened. You saw what was going on. You saw that more people...
What, Donald?
You take a look at the votes. When you have more votes than you have people. That's
not true.
Is that a problem?
It's not true. It didn't happen.
Adjusting in Detroit. We seem to have more votes than we have people. A lot more votes.
No, it's not true.
Election-changing number. We're not talking about a number where you catch... No, these are election-changing numbers. In Pennsylvania, they had hundreds of thousands of more votes than they had people voting. What's that all about?
That's not true.
What's that all about? Cheating, they say. Yeah, I'd say so. In the history of our country...
Search that real quick and see what they say.
For years in Pennsylvania and Detroit and various other places. But there's tremendous... Never like this. Because they use COVID as a way of cheating. That's what happened, and everybody knows it. Hundreds of thousands and millions of ballots. They used it as a way of getting what they've wanted for many years. And the Republicans have to do something about it.
Can't see it because it's the Washington Post.
They better do something about it. Our election process is
Pennsylvania did not have hundreds of thousands of phantom absentee ballots. Claim Pennsylvania's election officials mailed out 1.8 million ballots and counted votes for more than 2.5. False. The statistic combines data from Pennsylvania's June primary election, in which 1.8 million voters requested mail-in votes.
Rewritten by local politicians. You're not allowed
and then general election, which voters mailed back more than 2.6 million ballots. The facts: weeks before 2020 elections, more than 3 million Pennsylvania voters requested vote-in ballots. So you are wrong. You are lying. Lying liars who lie.
And these are numbers that are massive. These aren't little numbers.
They're huge.
Each state is a transformative number. It changes the outcome of the election. And it's not close. Regardless of your political views, this should concern you as a constitutional matter. And the Supreme Court, again, didn't have the guts or the courage to do anything about it.
You appointed
and
3.
Other judges.
That's your problem, bruh.
Democrats even admitted in Time magazine, which is, I would say, on the liberal side, that they just couldn't hold it in. They had to brag about it. Because what they did, they had to brag about it. They couldn't do it.
What did they brag? What did they say?
It's a disaster. It's a disaster for our country that we can allow something so corrupt to happen. Read that article. I really encourage you. You read that article. Yet all of the election integrity measures in the world will mean nothing.
What article in Time magazine? Was it the secret bipartisan campaign that saved the 2020 election? That one? The one that talked about how they made sure that the election was secure and not a cheat like you wanted it to be?
Wing tyranny. And we can do this. We can do this. We're smarter than they are. We're tougher than they are. For some reason, we just don't. We don't get it done. We let them attack our businesses, and we don't attack their businesses. I believe your numbers are bigger than their numbers, but you're nicer than they are. You're not as vicious as they are. In the past, we would debate. I would have it. I'd debate. You've seen me for many years. They throw something. I debate. They debate. Who knows who wins? You know, people go, they vote, they see what happens. But they would have an idea. They would disagree. The public would hear it. The debate and discourse would take place. And then somebody would make a decision. You would win. You would lose. The public would make up its mind. But now there is no debate because they refuse to allow our side to even speak or be heard. They don't want debate because we have easy victories in a debate. Very easy victories. It's called common sense. It's called other things, but it's called common sense. So they don't want a debate. The time has come to break up big tech monopolies and restore fair competition.
Yeah, exactly. Sure.
Republicans,
that's exactly what you want to do. Get rid of unfair monopolies. Unfair monopolies like the electricity companies in Texas.
And if the federal government refuses to act, then every state in the union where we have the votes, which is a lot of them, big tech giants like Twitter, Google, and Facebook should be punished with major sanctions whenever they silence conservative voices.
Only conservatives, not when they silence liberals. Not when I get kicked off Facebook for 3 days because I called someone a plague rat because they refused to wear a mask. That's okay. Hypocrite.
Texas and in other states
Hypocrite.
are doing this. If they do what they're doing, Florida, and that legislation will pass, and Texas and others will have tremendous power to do what's right and what's fair. We have no time to waste. Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats in Congress are racing to pass a flagrantly unconstitutional attack on the First Amendment and the integrity of our elections known as H.R. 1. Do you know what H.R. 1 is? It's a disaster. Their bill would drastically restrict political speech, empower the federal government to shut down dissent, and turn the Federal Election Commission into a partisan political weapon. In addition, it virtually eliminates voter ID requirements nationwide, effectively ends all registration deadlines. Can you believe this? Requires states to give ballots to felons, automatically registers every welfare recipient to vote.
Felons should have ballots. If they serve their sentence, they should be able to have their voting rights restored. And why is there a reason, unless they were committing election fraud, why should a person not be able to cast a vote? They're still citizens of this country, right? We haven't revoked their citizenship.
It's a time for tough, strong, and energetic Republican leaders who have spines of steel. We need strong leadership. We cannot have leaders who show more passion for condemning their fellow Americans than they have ever shown for standing up to Democrats, the media, and the radicals who want to turn America into a socialist country.
There we go again. I'm going to flash me and my wife again because for some reason my mouse is not acting right.
Instead of attacking me and, more importantly, the voters of our movement, top establishment Republicans in Washington should be spending their energy in opposing Biden, Pelosi, Schumer, and the Democrats. I've said to some of them, I said, you know, during the Obama years and now during Biden, if you spent the same energy on attacking them, you'd actually be successful, as you do on attacking me in many cases. The Democrats don't have grandstanders like Mitt Romney, Little Ben Sass, Richard
Little
Burr,
Ben Sass,
Bill Cassidy, Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, Pat Toomey.
Oh, they're booing a bunch of Republicans, huh?
And in the House, Tom Rice, South Carolina, Adam Kinzinger, Dan Newhouse, Anthony Gonzalez, that's another beauty, Fred Upton, Jamie Herrera Butler, Peter Meyer, John Katko, David Valadeo, and of course the warmonger, a person that loves seeing our troops fighting, Liz Cheney. How about that? The good news is in
turning
her
on
state,
each other.
She's been censured, and in her state, her poll numbers have dropped faster than any human being I've ever seen. So hopefully they'll get rid of her with the next election. Get rid of her.
Maybe they'll get rid of her and replace her with a Democrat.
Are vicious. Remember this, it's true. Democrats are vicious, he said evil. Well, there is evil there. But they're vicious, they're smart, and they do one thing. Gotta hand it to them. They always stick together. You don't have Mitt Romneys in the group. They always stick together. Fortunately, for the Republican Party, the Democrats have horrible policies like open borders, sanctuary cities, defunding the police, and the ridiculous, totally ridiculous, Green New Deal. So they stick together, they're smart, they're vicious, they got everything going, but their policies are no good. So hence we have, congratulations, the Republican Party.
Policies are much better than the Republican parties. I mean, all down the road. But hey, you know, somebody who doesn't like, you know, people who aren't white or straight or whatever, you know, I guess I can understand why you might not like the Democratic Party policies.
Defund the police.
Science.
But if Republicans
Don't like science.
do not stick together, the rhinos that we're surrounded with will destroy the Republican Party and the American worker, and will destroy our country itself. The rhinos, you know, Republican in name only. But the Republican Party is united. The only division is between a handful of Washington, D.C. establishment political hacks and everybody else all over the country. I think we have tremendous unity. When you look at the crowds outside that want your seat so badly, they will take your seat in 2 seconds. They want your seat. Congratulations. Congratulations on getting in, by the way. I'm very happy. And that's why I'm announcing that I will be actively working to elect strong, tough, and smart Republican leaders. Speaking of that, I heard Jim Jordan did a great job, right?
Yeah, sure.
I heard that from Mark Meadows. I heard it. Oh, there he is. Look at that. Hi, Jim. I heard you were great. In fact, I hated to follow you. I want to follow other people. I could name them, too. I like to follow other people. I heard you were great. Thank you, Jim, very much. Jim Jordan. Great, great athlete. People don't know he was a great wrestler. Tremendous numbers of victories. The NC, he was a champion. He was college champion for a long period of time. He's a winner and a leader, and he doesn't play games. He likes to win. He likes to win. And we have a lot of people in our party that like to win, Jim, right? But I heard you were great. Thank you very much. But we want Republican leaders who are loyal to the voters and who will work.
Loyal to the voters or loyal to you? You want people that are loyal to you, not to loyal to the voters.
Right? So simple. Military, law and order, great trade deals, great education.
Great trade deals.
So simple. I don't. Does anybody?
You are simple.
What are they? Does anybody get it? It has just been stated that President Trump's endorsement is the most powerful asset in politics. You believe that? Who would have thought that was going to happen? Who would have thought that's going to happen, Jim? In last year's congressional primaries, 120, listen to this, it's crazy. 120 of 122 candidates I endorsed won. 120.
You only endorsed 120?
That's almost as good as Jim's wrestling record.
You only endorsed 120?
Were beaten by people claiming to be more Trump than their opponent. So I like those two people very much also. In the Senate, I was undefeated in endorsements with a record of 21-0. My endorsement of Mitch McConnell, at his request, it's all right, it's all right.
So you endorsed the Arizona one?
He asked for my endorsement, brought him from 1 point down to 20 points up, and he won his race in the great state, and actually the great Commonwealth of Kentucky, and he won it very easily. And I said, I wonder if I'm doing the right thing here, but you know what? I did what I did, but he went from 1 point down to 20 points up very quickly, immediately actually, and he won his race. And if you compare that to his other elections, I'm sure you see something interesting, but you know what? We got a Republican elected. And now we have to use Republicans to take care of the election frauds and all of the other things.
The election frauds? The plural of fraud is frauds, apparently. I mean, the individuals can be frauds.
Because of my efforts campaigning.
But election frauds? I don't know, maybe.
And I helped keep many senators in their seats, and they will admit it. So that it's now 50-50.
That's why people are kissing your ass.
Republicans being down anywhere from 8 to 10 seats. And they'll admit it. We'd be down 8 to 10 seats if I didn't campaign. We held rallies for some of the senators that were down, and nobody talks about that. Nobody wants to talk. The press doesn't talk about it. With me at the top of the ticket, not a single Republican member of Congress lost their race for the first time in decades. We won 26 of 26 toss-up races. Toss-up. Think of that, 26 of 20, and those are toss-up. Those are races that could go anyway. We were expected to lose 25 seats, and instead we won 15 seats, and almost, oh, why couldn't we have done a couple of more? Almost cost Crazy Nancy her job.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's because there is an unfair advantage in the Republican side, but conservatives have gerrymandered so much that you need to have so much huge victories in order for the Democrats to win, because the election process is unfair and rigged towards y'all.
And all of the Republican House candidates combined. So how the hell is it possible that we lost? It's not possible. I got more votes. I got more, which is me. When I say I, I'm talking about we. We got more votes than any incumbent president in the history.
So that doesn't mean anything if the other person got even more votes.
And that doesn't include the votes and ballots they threw out. Okay? If you include
the votes that the ballots that they threw out were votes that your campaign requested that they throw out.
I won the first. We won the second. We did much better. Sort of strange, right? How did you do? Well, we did much better the second time. Oh, you did? Really? What a disgrace. What a disgrace to our country. I got over 11 million, very close to 12 million more votes than we got in 2016. And I was told by John McLaughlin that if you, the great
and Biden got even more than that.
We had 63 in 2016, 63 million. Sir, if you get to 66 million, you have it made. We got to almost 75 million.
And you still lost because you pissed off too many people.
What happened when they closed all of the counting booths? What happened at 3 o'clock in the morning? What happened at 3:02 in the morning?
They were still counting votes because there are lots of mail-in votes.
No
legitimately cast.
Ever lost an election after carrying Florida, Ohio, and Iowa, and I won them all, and I won them by a lot.
Does it make a difference? So you were the first to do it. You're the first to lose. Mazel tov.
Who received more than 75% of the primary vote has ever lost an election. I had a record number, and no president has ever, and we're talking about a much lower number than we got, has ever lost an election.
That's because you suck.
Thank you. We have to have a sense of humor. Thanks to my coattails, Democrats failed to flip a single state legislature, think of it, or a legislative chamber, because Republicans came out to vote for me. Now, they say it differently. The press, the fake news spins it differently. They say, despite how well they did, Trump didn't win. That's such a lie. And many legislatures, many legislators told me, they said, they're going to lose their race. Wasn't going to happen. And then what happened, one in particular told me from a great swing state, said, I thought I was going to lose my position, lose my race, and I went out with my wife the night before the election, and I saw all these Trump signs and the American flags and the spirits on the streets. I said, darling, I think we're going to win. He said, but you were far, far, far more popular than me. They do lots of polls. You were way, way ahead of me, sir. And the next day I was right. He said, he won the election by a lot, and you lost the election. And sir, it's not possible that you lost, because you got a lower number than I did, and you were so far ahead of me. You're the person that brought everybody out to vote. And I happen to agree with that 1,000%.
Just like on Maury Povich, when somebody says, I'm 100% sure I'm the father, on Maury Povich, that person usually, I'm 100% sure I'm not the father, that person winds up not being the father. Or the person goes, I'm 1,000% sure, Maury, that I'm not the father, that's the person that ends up being the father. Well, if he's 1,000% sure that that happened, that just followed the Maury Povich logic, he's wrong.
Voted for Trump, not for Biden. And it was a shocker to those people that go for the stats. It was a shocker. They voted for Trump. 18 of 19 voted for Trump. There's never been anything like that. And yet, did Biden win? No. If you want to help us take back the future of our country, go to DonaldJTrump.com. I don't do this. I've never done this, but it's time that we have to put forces together, because these people with their big tech and their fake news media right back there, okay? And when you talk about election, they turn off. When you talk about, they probably have them going because they also care about ratings, but when they talk about election, they turn off the cameras. You know why?
Because you're lying. Because you're lying, and they don't want to help you promote the lies that you lost, those lies that perpetuated the anger of the supporters that forced them or caused them to come on January 6th and invade the Capitol. Your continued stoking the fires of sedition and insurrection in this country should be considered treasonous. But,
we need to save your Second Amendment, which is under siege. We need to help protect funding for our military and for our great vets, and that's what we're doing. As we discussed earlier,
I'm disgusted. I have to listen to this crap.
This is a struggle. This is a terrible, terrible, painful struggle. The path ahead will not be easy, but we will win. We are going to win. Ultimately, we always win.
I mean, you could say that you won repeatedly, and it's still going to lose. The Republicans that hate you are going to still be hating you in 2024.
The tougher the task, the more determined we must be to pull through to triumph. We have to
triumph! Yes, the insult comic dog. We need to pull through for triumph. Oh yes. Oh yes. This president is such a good president for me to poop on.
That's exactly what we will do. We will go on to victory. We will summon the spirit of generations of American patriots before us, like those heroes who crossed the Delaware, conquered the Rockies, stormed the beaches, won the battles, and tamed the unknown frontiers. We will persist, and we will...
And kept slaves, like Jefferson Davis.
Stronger than they are. Together in the coming years, we will carry forward the torch of American liberty. We will lead the conservative movement and the Republican
Someone's like, in my friends list, is no
no
one wearing a mask? Hardly anybody.
And we've had tremendous victories. Don't ever forget it. With your help, we will take back the House. We will win the Senate. And then a Republican president will make a triumphant return to the White House.
Baloney.
That will be.
He hasn't announced his candidacy yet. I mean, you know, unless you die.
Who will that be? I wonder.
Who? Like the New Day. It's not the...
Standing before you today, I am supremely confident that for our movement, for our party, and for our country, our brightest days are just ahead.
The best
and that together we will make America
come.
prouder,
Which again means that the best is likely not a Trump wife.
Has been before. Thank you, CPAC. God bless you, and God bless America.
Did someone sneeze? All right. I had to turn it off before the music started. No, because now it's more Village People. Is he gonna do the dance? Come on, do the dance. I'm not gonna turn it off until I see him do the dance. Come on, I want to see the dance. I mean, he's not. I mean, I'd give him some credit if he started doing the young men. Young men. There's no need to feel down, I say, young man. But he's not doing the boxing thing, the Rock'em Sock'em Robot dance. Come on, do the Rock'em Sock'em Robot dance. I want to laugh. Come on. Oh, he's not doing the Rock'em Sock'em Robot. Is he going to come back for an encore? That's what I want to know. Is he going to come back for an encore? Wait, I want to see the guy. Oh. Well, there you go. There it is. It is what it is. The video stream is over. So let's go ahead and just do a wrap up. Of course, Donald Trump is ridiculous. Of course, Donald Trump, you know, hinted at the idea that he's probably going to run for office again. You know, I wonder who that will be. Of course, repeating the lies that caused many people to be incited to riot on January 6th. And he continues to do so, and so he's going to encourage further acts because these people are going to continue to believe the lies that he somehow magically won the election, yet wasn't allowed to do so. So, anyway, that's the end of this live stream. Thank you very much for watching. Please, if you liked what you've seen, subscribe to the channel. There's always, you know, go to liberaldan.com and you can find all the different places in the link in the description of this video. You'll be able to see all the different places that you can support me. You can, you know, follow me on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. All the links are there. And if you want to support the channel above and beyond subscribing here, which is one of the best free things you can do, you can also either become a Liberal Dan Radio Patreon, support the show on a month-to-month basis, or you can just buy me a cider. Go to liberaldan.com, click the Buy Me a Cider button, and you can sign up for, again, I think you could also do a monthly thing, but you can also just sign up and just support the channel once. And any help would be great. I'd love to see it. So thank you very much for watching. For anybody who did, stay safe, stay healthy, mask up.